to the Flagrant 2 podcast. No easy buckets analysis by assholes, water cooler commentary for your sports needs. I am here right now with Akaash Singh. We have a special guest coming in today to join us. She's not here just right now. We got to start by saying, first of all, this Friday, this Saturday, Views from the Sis is going to be in Albany and Syracuse. Let me get the right days for each one. But we're going to be in Albany and Syracuse. I'm going to be in Albany the Funny Bone Friday, Syracuse Funny Bone Saturday. All right, 2 shows each night. You know you're back with your family. All right, you know you got nothing to do. Just hanging around with their boring asses. They're trying to play Monopoly or some other shit game. Okay, come out to the show. Fuck it, bring all them. Bring the whole squad. All right, turkey leftovers and all that. Come through, pull up. Then, December 1st, I'm going to be in Atlanta, Relapse Theater. Those tickets are moving, so I would get on that very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, that's just one night. All right? Then, we got some more shows, theandrewschulz.com, but ones that I wanted to let you know about real quick before they're gone. That LA show, y'all got on those tickets quick. So I would get your tickets before those are gone. And San Diego. LA is going to be the 28th of February. San Diego is the 22nd and 23rd. Matter of fact, Miami, I'm going back in time, is the 1st and 2nd. Just get on all these shits real quick. Stop playing around. Y'all know what happened last time I was in Miami. All 4 shows sold out.
AndrewSchulz.com?
TheAndrewSchulz.com.
TheAndrewSchulz.com.
Go get them shits right now. Don't wait. Okay? Don't
Remember
wait.
how pissed
Go
off
get it.
you were that you couldn't get AndrewSchulz.com?
Was I was pissed, huh?
Yeah.
Some motherfucker took my shit. We should look see who has it.
Some Swedish dude or something?
Who knows? What about you, Akaash? You got some shows coming
November 24th, Dallas, Texas. I'm back home. I'm headlining Hyenas Comedy Club in Plano.
Yo, come out.
7 o'clock show, 9:30 show. Come through.
See my man Akaash, yo.
Hell yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
All right?
And then I had another date I can't remember. Some colleges coming up. We'll have fun. We'll do our thing.
All right? Look, we have a special guest today. She's running a little bit late, okay? But she's going to be a spicy one. I'm very excited. I'm not even going to ruin it, even though when you click on this podcast on your phone, it's going to have her name. So you will already know. Miko Grimes is going to be in the building. Fuck it. Right?
Hell
Might as
yeah.
well tell.
Miko coming through.
Miko coming through. I'm very excited to speak to Miko. For months, you motherfuckers have been asking for us to collab.
We've been trying.
Miko's a personal friend of mine. I love Miko.
Yeah.
And
I hung out with her All-Star Weekend. She's
that's
cool
right.
as
We
fuck.
all hung out. Cool. She the coolest. She the coolest. She the coolest. So I'm very excited to get her on finally. Get her to get flagrant with the crew.
She already flagrant.
She already flagrant.
She's
with
bringing her
with
flagrancy,
us.
yeah.
Exactly. With us specifically.
When flagrancies collide.
Oh, when flagrancies collide, it is fucking. I mean, what are the chances? You know what I mean? Like,
It's a miracle, really.
a lot of times these things are miracles. Like, you know, it's just.
It's a lot of barriers to get through to get an interview with Miko.
Yeah.
It's just a lot you got to get through.
Alex, you snitching on yourself.
Alex, what you leaving us?
No, this is
Alex,
like,
you leaving? You pulling out? What's
yo,
going on?
what the fuck? Damn, bro. Pull out game week. Look, so.
You wildin' now.
This guy's crazy, bro. This guy's so
too
crazy.
flagrant.
You know?
That was too
Alex,
flagrant.
you can't walk out
Andrew,
the.
we got to edit that out. Get rid of it.
Yo, we can't. Listen, son. Listen. All I gotta say is,
This is not cool.
I know it's not cool. No. Let's
Yes,
go.
please.
No, we're not doing that. We just going. We're
dick.
in it right now.
You're a
The
dick.
canoe's already going down the river.
Yo, you're a dick.
The canoe's going down the
really
river. Okay? Like that.
Fucking asshole.
Look at that. We going down the river.
I ain't
Right?
telling- I'm not
What are we
telling
doing?
you
We
guys.
doing.
Shit,
We taking that paddle. We sticking it in the water, scooping that water behind us, sticking it in the water, scooping that water behind us. Bro, this flagrant motherfucking 2. I'm sick and tired. You want to hear a funny story though? It's got nothing to do with it. So Carl Lynch just hits me, right? He goes, yo, you're not going to believe this. I'm in Arizona preaching, right? I just happen to be, I'm going to get the text out immediately. He goes, I just happen to be preaching on the campus of Grand Canyon University. Do you know who the coach is for Grand Canyon University, guys?
No fucking clue.
Big Dick Daniel with the cannon. Big Dick
Daniel, baby. That's who. Okay? He goes, you guessed it. Thunder Dick Dan Marley.
Pastor Carl said dick.
I think he was quoting me. He goes, I thought of you the entire time. We had some laughs. A lot of the girls. No, I can't say that part. Okay.
Andrew wildin' right now.
Yeah, he really is. He really is.
Yo, but think about it. Think about it. Big Dick Dan Marley with the cannon, right? Coaches at Grand Canyon University, also known as Grand Cannon University. Okay?
You fucking dick.
Dun-ch. Dude, we are wild in this episode, man. Okay.
You wildin'.
Me?
Yes.
You.
Yes.
Y'all crazy for this
Can
one.
we just try the intro
It's like y'all
again,
want me
though?
out of here.
Yo, can we try the intro again?
We're not doing the intro over.
Because
We not-
your dates are all off.
No,
It's
my
mad
dates
confusing.
was nice. My
Now
dates
it's
was.
mad
Y'all got the
confusing.
dates? Hey, I'm listening to
They
you
not
guys
even
at
gonna
home.
get it.
I'm talking to y'all at home. Y'all got the dates.
They're not
Didn't
gonna
y'all
get
got
it.
the dates?
It was horrible.
Listen.
You're not gonna sell no
Last
shows.
thing we
Okay,
not
here we
gonna
go.
do.
Here we go.
Last thing we not gonna do is get rid of this episode prematurely, bro. Cause
See, nah, come on, son.
He keeps on going. He keeps on
Nah.
going. He keeps on going,
Don't put
son.
that on him, man.
Nah,
Don't put
come
that on
on,
him.
son.
My man got enough on his conscience. Don't put that on him.
That's it. I'm out. Fuck y'all niggas.
Eden! What if Eden's right out there waiting? I am ready. I am ready when you are. Okay. In all seriousness, we're gonna get to some shit. What? Can I tell y'all about how this fat bitch at my show? Can I tell you that? Can we talk about this fat bitch at my show? Me and her went back and forth, and then two lesbians, one with a hole in her neck because she had some fucking surgery, probably from eating HPV pussy, and they probably had to scoop out her esophagus, or maybe they're trying to shut her ass up because she was annoying too. Maybe God took her vocal cords. You know what I mean?
Oh, we on Patreon.
Yo, son,
What
I'm
the
wilding
fuck is
today.
going
You know
on?
why I'm wilding? Because I told what I thought was a very fun fat joke. I was telling you this.
Mm-hmm.
The joke was about Alex. I'll have to tell you because let me make sure our guest isn't trying to reach me. The joke was about how fat chicks want to be Victoria's Secret models. Now, right?
Oh, I was laughing already
Right?
at the idea, the notion.
Now, I said they were pissed. I go, they were so bro, they were so pissed. I said they were protesting. I said, what?
Alex heated.
That's so tight.
Alex heated.
Why are you upset? I'm talking about my life, bruh. I'm talking about these fat bitches trying to be, they were fucking protest. You throwing shit at me, son. Golly. What a savage. I'm trying to talk about these fat bitches. Look, so these fat bitches were protesting, right? I did my fat girl voice. Have you heard my fat girl voice?
I haven't actually.
Alex. No, Alex. Hey, get back here, Alex. Alex.
We ain't got no producer.
Alex has just left the building. We got no
ain't got no
producer.
producer.
Alex has just left
You
the
wildin',
building.
fam.
Son, I'm not wilding.
Come on, my man had to abort the
Hold
room.
on, hold on.
You wildin', dog.
Hold on. I think that's the reason. I think that's the reason because of my shirt.
Shit.
You know I got that Flagrant
God
2 asshole
damn.
army shirt. Hold on, let me bust. I have to bust it out open one time. I don't know where Alex. Alex literally just left the building, son. Alex literally just
It's
left.
one camera
He
angle.
left it. I hope he's on
Whatever
the wide.
camera angle we
Let me
want.
make sure we on the wide. Yeah, we on the wide. We good. So
That's a friend.
that is a friend. He set it up before
He
he
set it up where he didn't fuck us completely.
Yes. Yeah.
And you were being a dick.
No, it wasn't. Stop making it into something that's not. Y'all thinking too much. So these fat bitches, right? They want to be Victoria's Secret models. I tell this joke I thought was kind of funny about it, which is, Al,
Oh, shit.
we traded you. Oh, shit, here she is. Hey, first of all, you looking so cool right now. Holy shit. I love this little style. Miko's in the building.
as fuck.
I got one little, have a seat. Slide over a little bit, Akaash, so she can get in.
course.
We're talking about these fat bitches that want to be Victoria's Secret models.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So I had a joke about it that this fat chick got really upset at the show. And the whole show ended up being this back and forth between me and this fat chick.
Live in a show?
Live show. She was furious. And I thought the joke's pretty funny. The joke was that these fat chicks...
I mean, obviously she's going to talk, man. A fat girl can't control herself. How do you think she got that way in the first place?
Facts, 100%. So I told her...
It's basic logic.
I told her.
Bitch ain't got no...
home. Sorry.
So I say, these fat chicks are protesting, right? They set up this whole march, and then they realized they had to march, and they're like, let's just chill with that. And then let's do more of like a sit-in. And
Brunch.
And brunch would be she throwing tags out, right? And then I go. The real reason why fat chicks can't be Victoria's Secret models is because the wings would have to be too big, right? There'd be no way that they could fit in the place.
Right.
Just to have these 747s walking down a runway, it'd be too bad, right? This fat chick goes, easy.
Like controlling your
easy. Like
jokes.
she's talking about the joke. It's like easy, and I go. Really? You think that was easy? She's like, yeah. I was like, you know what else is easy? Getting fat.
You said that in the show?
And then we just went back and forth for the whole show. It
you had a
ruined
good
the whole
time,
thing.
though.
Oh no, it wasn't that good. And I didn't have the heart to lay into her. I'm getting soft, Akaash.
You know what it is? I think because she was a girl too. I think if it was a guy, you wouldn't even cared. But I think it's because it was a woman. You wanted to lay in, but you realized she was a woman.
You might be right. I mean, there was a time in
Andrew's
my
a
career.
feminist. Y'all don't know this about Andrew. My man is a feminist.
I am a feminist.
Yeah, I feel like you are. Probably are
You gotta
more than me. I'm not.
You not.
No.
You don't respect
What do
these
you mean?
bitches?
No, I just feel like a lot of the stuff they stand for, I don't agree with. That's really what it is about.
Like what? Like women talking?
That's a big problem I have.
you
Me
know,
too,
I hate
because these
when
girls be
women-
talking, bro.
I disagree with like a lot of women are on that whole like equality thing, and I feel like that's kind of what screwed us up.
Yeah,
to begin with.
listen, hey.
Equality.
Okay, talk to me.
For example, the only reason
So
that
you're not taking a knee for women's rights?
some, but not all. Shut up.
If there was a female Colin Kaepernick, you'd be like, bitch, you better get up on both of those knees.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of stuff is just messed up. I think men are supposed to be the breadwinner. I think women are supposed to take care of the home.
Okay.
It's just how I feel. Yes, we can all go work and do things, but for me, just looking at the history of this country, feminism really ruined everything, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah. Because,
I didn't say that.
No.
What do you think it ruined?
As
As a black woman who white women can never attack.
Yes. Well, you know,
Because they can come at me.
the
these
way
fat
the government has
Fat
it
ass
appears the government may have been in on the very first women's rights movement, because then they could tax both people in the household.
Oh,
And then they could put your
shit.
kids in school, and they can control your kids
Joke's on
while
you.
you're at work. Yes, that's what I
fat
think.
bitch.
Fat ass bitch. Wanted to be in the factory so all day, huh?
You wanted to be out here. Now we're going to tax both parents in the house. Now we can make more money off of you guys and control your kids at
Interesting.
school.
What is it about? I've noticed this because you're a beautiful woman
Thank
in
you.
incredible shape. I mean,
Thank you.
amazing. What is it about like the wider women get and the fatter that they get, the more opinions?
Because the world has told them that they can. Because the world has told them that, you know what, even though I've kind of been ruining my life and just eating uncontrollably and not taking care of myself, I still have rights to an opinion, and I get to say something. If you hurt my feelings, then I'm going to get my whole gang together.
Why
and gang
aren't
up
they-
I thought it
on
why
was
aren't
just
they
because their
this
mouth is always
opinionated?
open
Yeah.
from eating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're just like, let me not eat and let me just
Absolutely.
use this a little bit.
Y'all
Yeah.
are wow.
It's wild.
Who's this guy, Chris Moreau? Why are you
Holy
policing
shit.
us
so
all of a
happy to
sudden,
be
bro?
here. Let me just say
We
that.
got Miko family
Yo,
untouchable.
chill. Like, we out here, bro.
Reckless
Hey, bro.
shit.
We here,
Like,
bro.
yeah,
we
I've
with
been
it.
wanting to be some reckless
Listen, we're not
shit,
with
man.
the shits. We're talking about personal situations
Yeah.
here, okay? I'm talking about a girl who ruined a set of mine.
He's offended. You're offended.
I was triggered.
You were triggered.
Yo, she's sitting on this chair, and
take this
you
sweater
can't
off,
even
I'm
see the chair. The chair
couldn't
is
see the arms?
enveloped in her body, and then the clothes that
like
they
Play-Doh.
wear.
It was like Play-Doh. It was
I
like
know.
made of
Play-Doh,
a
yes.
whole mold of her
You know what
body.
it was like? Very similar. Have you ever seen the foam on coffee? How it comes over the top of it a little bit?
Yeah.
That's how the chair was. It was like, you know, there was a cup underneath, but you can't see it. This girl is covering the whole day, and then she just fucking
muffin top.
Just a muffin top, and her teeth were all big and sharp from eating, and just like being able to cut right through the
What
food.
is she doing at your show with an opinion like that?
No,
Like,
it wasn't I wasn't headlining. I was just popping into the clubs and like doing spots in the city.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, you'd never see a girl like that at my show.
That's
Actually,
what I was gonna say.
sometimes
She wasn't
you do.
ready for that.
But here's the thing: when those girls pop up at my show, the audience turns on them.
Yeah.
It's fucking
I
unbelievable.
would've.
That's actually,
Yo.
it's just like high school for them.
Yeah, they go back like they pop up for a second because they think they're out of high school, and they're like, "That's wrong." And then some guy who's like a
Shut
fire
up,
department
lard
guy,
ass.
yeah. Quiet, cunt. She's like, "Whoa."
We're trying to enjoy some fat jokes. Shut up.
Oh, man.
Put
Alex
some food,
is still.
put
Alex
some
really
food in your
sensitive
mouth.
right now, bro.
Andrew, you wildin' and I'm following suit.
But we're not really wildin'. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Look, so that was just my day. I had to get this off of my chest. We have a great resource for sports here. We have a great resource for the inside industry. Nah, that's a funny. This is. We're gonna get to that.
Shit.
We're gonna get to her shirt in a minute. Which she's
yeah.
wearing a great shirt. She's wearing a shirt with the NFL crest, I believe it's called
Yes,
Shield.
Shield.
And instead of NFL, it says NAH.
You know what's
nah.
funny?
Let me finish describing the shirt. And then it has
Hella fists.
it has fists like the Black Power fists, which are weirdly
There's
white.
supposed to be stars here. Well, that's
Right.
because of different shirts. This is the white one. I have a gray one. I have a
Is
black
that a
one.
white power shirt? Is that a nod of Kaepernick?
Not
White
a
people's
Kaepernick.
fist doesn't look like that when they
think that's
raise it. You
Goodell's
guys'
line
fist
of
looks a
shirts.
little cornier when you do it.
No,
Ours
that's-
is like this, and yours is kind of just like
Yeah. I
That.
think ours is like, used to like holding money
yeah, probably
or something.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody want some money?
Salt Bay.
Okay, so great resource here. Obviously, Miko, for those of you who don't know, Miko, you yourself, you're a collegiate athlete, played basketball in college, you went to play professional overseas. We can get into that a little bit later. You can tell me why, for some reason, people watch women play basketball
I
and
will.
spend money over there, because apparently you guys are getting legit money.
Over there, yes.
Actually, let's start there.
Okay.
Why is it?
No, let's start here.
Okay.
Who wins in a basketball game, Andrew or a WNBA player?
Oh, one-on-one?
One-on-one.
Depending on the size, I believe. There's some shorter girls in the league I feel like he might be able to handle, just because one-on-one, there's no help defense.
Yeah.
So he's obviously, but a girl, his like about 5'10" or up,
What's her
gonna
name?
cook you.
Ogumake?
5'10" and up, I
Stop
think she
it.
gonna get you.
Stop it.
Because girls are less athletic than men, obviously, but you're white, so I feel like you're gonna lose out in some of that athleticism
You think
there.
he can say you, though?
Miko, stop it. Miko, stop it. Don't embarrass
Probably.
yourself.
I'm
Don't
gonna say
embarrass
one-on-one. I'm 43 years old. He should beat me. What he
Okay.
can't beat me in is horse
What's horse?
shooting.
Oh, that's that white game?
Yes. Yes, that one. I learned that motherfucker
That's what
quite
those
well.
fists are held up for.
I learned that shit quite well. I learned the white part of the game,
Yeah,
so I
'cause
could
you
get
rich.
paid.
You learned about that. You learned about
I
that
learned
horse
that
game.
as a kid. I learned, I was always faster than every girl.
Right.
More athletic, but I didn't have a jump shot. And my coach used to say, because I played high school in a predominantly non-black area. I grew
Yeah.
up in the hood, but
Right.
when I went to high school, it was non-black, and he was like, "Yo, when we run into these black girls in the playoffs, they're gonna be just as fast as you. What are you gonna be able to do about it?"
Yeah.
And that's when I started developing a jump shot.
Like an honest coach like that. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, this shit'll work against these white kids.
Yeah, he was like, "You killing these white girls. You running by them. They can't keep up with you. Everything." But he was like, "When we get to CIF, which is what it was at the time,
Right.
you gonna need a jump shot. These black girls gonna be on your shit. And what's up?" And so
So-
I started working on it.
Okay, so how does that have to do with you beating me? I forget.
I said horse. I think
Yeah,
that
horse, you could beat me. Because I grew up in the city. We didn't have the luxury of like having our own basketball hoop to shoot on.
Yeah,
Like when you show up to the court, right, there's a reason my game is all get to the basket, right? Is because
y'all
when
had
you
a
show up,
wooden backboard.
not even wooden backboard. Like we had some shit made out of metal. The rims
damn.
were metal. Everything was metal because someone was going to try to break it.
Oh,
Right? So, but what the game was based on is let me take high percentage shots
to win.
because we want to stay on the court.
Smart.
Exactly. So that's all of our games. Like I have some friends who developed jumpers as they got older and their bodies started to fall apart. Like Jamil.
Yeah.
Jamil
Jamil's
could
got
never
no
shoot
jumper,
in
right?
high school. Maybe a little bit.
Right.
But like, I think you might have met Jamil at All Star.
Was he out there?
Yeah.
Not this year.
Anyway, point is, you
I
can
get
even tighten
closer?
that little bottom one. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so what we would do, there's another thing in New York, and this is specific to New York, I realize. There's no and one.
Oh, so if you make the shot and you call foul, you don't get the
You
bucket.
don't get the bucket. It's
Okay.
a very so that's why
Some courts are like that.
But that's why you got guys like Stephon Marbury, right? Who was great at finishing with contact. Remember early in his career? Stomp 2 feet, jump up, shoulder, lean in.
Absorb the contact,
Boom.
still make the layup. No call.
Because we couldn't.
Right.
If you called, you're not going to get it.
Right.
Right? And a lot of these guys, like you guys, Sebastian Telfair, these guys who are great, young, great in high school, but they just can't shoot well enough to make it at the next level. You don't have your own court to shoot on.
Yeah.
You're sharing it with 40 other people.
I did grow up a little privileged, I guess, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Tons of courts.
Tons.
Okay, so you think that there's WNBA players that could beat me?
I do.
Who?
I think Angel McCoughtry would cook your ass.
How?
She's just better than you fundamentally. She can shoot better than you, and she's athletic.
But more athletic than me.
Yes.
How? I can dunk. She can touch backboard.
That's not the only part of athleticism. A lot of that is movement, meaning change of direction quickly, hip rotation, all that. I don't know. I've seen some of your clips on Instagram.
She's mad that I pass.
Yeah, he passes a lot. It's pretty cool, but I don't do that shit.
I get people involved.
That's
you know what I
great.
mean? That's what I do. I'm a
I
facilitator.
get buckets.
I know you get buckets because of people like me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you getting
I
all
want
the
to play
credit.
with you, actually.
Trust me, you don't.
Pass it to me.
No, I absolutely will, but if you're cool with me yelling at you, then
Yes.
you can play. Some people get sensitive about that shit.
Not me. I'm a yeller too.
Good. If people that play
I
at high
can-
levels don't give a fuck.
Nope. Doesn't
yeah.
bother me at all.
All right, good.
Not one bit.
Okay, let's go to real quick. Why are women making money in Russia? Explain this shit to me.
Let me tell you this. In sports in Europe, in other countries,
Yeah.
they don't really care about the sex as much as here. They're more about the game. Like, is it entertaining? Is it good? Is it fun? Are the girls getting buckets? Like, there's girls over there averaging 30, 35 points a game over there. They love that shit.
Right.
They don't care that she has tits.
So if there's like a really competitive
Yeah.
middle school game in Europe, they'll watch it.
It's not middle school. Fuck out of here. It's really competitive. It's extremely competitive. And then because of the way it's structured, you don't have as many talented people as the WNBA, which is really sad. But you have foreign players. You're only allowed to have 2 foreign players.
Right.
And those 2 foreign players generally go at each other
Kill
the
it.
whole game.
Kill it.
And the other people are just facilitators. They're just screen setters and defensive players. Every now and then, if you got a big girl that's pretty decent, you might dump it down to her to keep people honest. But you essentially see 2 foreign girls going at it. And it's very entertaining. And they share the ball a little bit more than the men. Men are even worse. But it's more about entertainment. They sell out those stadiums for girls' games.
So, in
people
other
buy
words,
jerseys, everything.
They're basically showing up to see somebody that's black.
That's what I was thinking.
They're not all black. The foreigners
Really?
aren't all. Yeah, there's girls from Russia. There's girls from Spain. There's girls from New Zealand, Australia. You can have any foreigner on your team.
Okay. I'm making sense of this now. Because when I was in Spain, the rule was you can have 2 Americans, but you can have
That's for men.
Europeans.
That's for men.
Ah.
It's different for women. And the reason they do that is because American basketball is way higher.
Right.
In women's basketball, every country has like an Angel McCoughtry, a Lisa. You know what I mean? Like
Got
they're
you.
not just black. They're
Okay.
white girls too
I
that
heard
can ball.
this. I also heard that within Russia, there are people who run different cities, essentially.
Oh yeah, the mobsters and stuff.
The mobsters.
Yes.
And they treat sports as a big dick contest.
Yes, it is.
So they're willing to pay a Miko Grimes, for
Yeah.
example, $1 million when you'd be making $40,000 a year in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
If that means you make their team beat
They're a
St.
rival.
Petersburg.
Yes.
So it's really just about
It's a pissing contest.
billionaire pissing contest,
Yes, and
not
it's
essentially
legal.
this love of the
Well, that's how you get the fans there also.
right
You
victory.
see what I mean?
So
You
they like
keep
seeing
winning.
dominant players. They
Yes,
want to see.
They don't care. They're more about their town. Like how you're a Laker fan or
Yes.
you're a Cavs fan.
Yes.
Those
Right.
people are fans of their town, their area. their team, and we have like a shield over our bench because the other team
throw shit
at us. It's very personal.
So
like,
it's similar to soccer,
Yes.
whereas like you fall in love. It's identity. It's like
Yes.
for basketball, I'll follow Bron wherever he goes because I love
them.
LeBron.
No, they ain't doing that shit. They're home. They're local. Whoever's on their city and their town.
It's tribal.
Yes.
So it's like Long Island has its own team. Or
Yes.
Like Queens,
Yes.
Astoria has
Yes.
its own team.
Okay, but maybe bigger, maybe
it's-
by
yes,
city,
yeah,
not
yeah.
by whatever.
And it's very personal. Like it's a lot of shit talking with the fans. Like it gets very, very deep.
That's interesting. And then when you get to certain parts of the world that are like very different culturally, when you try, like especially Russia, like if you
Yeah.
go to parts of Russia, it does not resemble other
No.
parts of Russia. The way that people look, the food,
Right.
the culture,
Correct.
that kind of shit. So I could see how like the identity is even more,
And then
sewn in.
what you like to do is, this is another thing that teams like to do. When another team's coming in town to play against you, you want to pack that shit out. And if any of their fans dare come to your city, they better be ready for some
the
smoke.
smoke.
Yes.
They're like
Really?
hooligans.
Yes.
So wait, there's hooligans at the girl matches too.
Yes.
Male hooligans or
Yes.
female hooligans?
Mostly male.
Wow.
Yeah, the girls come too, but girls are really there. Like a lot of women that come, they're just supporting women's sports. They love it. They're enjoying. The guys come to be goons, to talk shit, like to rep their city. Because this is what I
I
love
think that's
about.
also the only time you can yell at a woman and not get in trouble.
You know what else I love about it? The tickets are like first come. Like if you buy a ticket to one of those games, it's whoever gets in first gets the first row. A lot of times,
Oh, that's
it's
dope.
not always by a seat number. It's like
so
yeah.
it's like high school where it's like bleachers and shit.
Yes, like you can get close as shit if you're
So that
in line
incentivizes
early.
you, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit in nosebleeds to watch these chicks
Yes,
play, but
you
I'll
sit-
sit right up front.
Yeah, but they still do. If
Yeah.
you're late, that's where you got to sit. But a lot of them, probably 80% of them are first come, first serve seating. So as soon as they open the doors, people are going straight to the, like they have a court side to some of the Euro League is different. You
Okay.
know what I mean? That's a different league.
Yeah.
But just the local leagues, yeah, it's kind of like first come, first serve when you get in there. So the poorest people can sit row one if you get in line first.
Why do girls even play sports in America then if you make nothing?
And you know what? That's what I asked a lot of girls. That's why I ended up going overseas, because it's ridiculous how disrespectful the game is here. Like no one comes. No one
Disrespectful
supports
the
it.
game is meaning like by fans, not
Yes.
by
Yeah.
the league itself.
By
Yeah.
also the league, who they don't really promote it as much. I feel like they don't do enough work to try to get people to come either.
Is
you know
it
what I
a
mean?
league's job to promote it, or is it the game's job to promote it?
It's the same game. It's just people with tits playing.
But
the
it's
s-
not.
It's not
It
the
is.
same
It's
game.
not. It's not essentially as far as the athleticism and the dunks
It's
and stuff.
I
but
would argue
still
it's a
good-
very different game.
I enjoy watching women play basketball.
So
I
here's
enjoy it.
A great example is tennis, and Akaash and I have spoken about this before. Like there are tennis purists who love the game of tennis,
Mm-hmm.
and they find more joy watching the women's game because there's
not just
more.
power.
What is it called? Volley.
Yeah.
Rallies
there's
are
more
longer.
rallies back
Rallies,
and forth.
yeah.
It's not just a power
Boom.
third hit is done with the guys
Exactly.
because they hit too hard.
It's exciting, right? And maybe the purists who like that kind of collegiate basketball style where you have this emphasis on teamwork and plays and it's less athleticism, but they're
Mm-hmm.
into that, would find joy in the women's game. But the expectation of basketball.
well, that was set already by, just the industry of basketball.
So, yeah, but
you
here's
know?
the thing, right? The industry of basketball is invested in itself. So
Mm-hmm.
the NBA is like, I'm a business, how do I make me as much money as I can?
Mm-hmm.
What do people love? The sheer athleticism. Let me support that. If they start going, hey, you know what's really good? Not the sheer athleticism, that teamwork stuff. You're essentially
Changing. I see what
You're
you're saying.
Undercutting your
your own
primary
product.
product.
It's like,
Well, it's because the women aren't capable. Everyone can't dunk. It's a different
Sure.
game. That's just what it is. Everyone cannot
so
dunk.
maybe if we looked at it like a different game,
Yeah, possibly.
I'll be honest with you, I think the best thing for the WNBA, separate yourself from the NBA.
They tried that and it was worse.
Well, it's worse because they can't afford to do it themselves. They're
Right.
like paid for by the NBA loses money.
I think it's an L.
supporting.
It's a tax
It's-
write-off.
It is a huge L
Yeah.
for them, and that's why it's funny that they complain about the amount of money they're making because it's like,
You're not bringing any
You're,
in.
imagine
Mm-hmm.
your kid going, I'm not getting enough allowance. You're like, motherfucker,
Yeah, that's
you
all
ain't
I
even
got.
working for the
Yeah,
allowance.
that's all I got for you.
Yeah, you don't make me money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but maybe if the WNBA completely separated and then focused simply on building up that style of play and catering to the people who are interested in this style of basketball, not trying to compete. Don't do a dunk contest when these chicks can't dunk.
They have a dunk contest?
Oh my God, it's the saddest shit ever.
When is there a dunk
Oh
contest?
my God, they did like some college dunk contest, and literally all the girls barely got it in. They did this like almost layup dunks. It's like you're trying to replicate.
They're trying to piggyback. They're trying to get
You are
interest.
biologically not gonna do what a man is gonna
Imagine
do. You just don't have the testosterone.
Right.
Asian porno.
Okay, let's see where this is going.
Imagine
I know
Asian
you're
porno being like, "Yo, here are the monster dicks," right? And you're just like, "That's just dicks.
Yeah.
That's not. I know what monster dicks are.
Yeah.
Right. So then, what do Asians do? They're like, "Nah, we're just gonna like have a bunch of dudes come on one girl. That will be our thing."
Yeah.
They created a
Can't fuck with
different.
the Asian marketing, dog.
Son, they found another
They created a
lane.
lane to make money.
We're gonna do
Well, what could
cartoons
they
of
do?
porn.
So then you think that the WNBA should like focus on the skills?
It should be.
Because they're way more skilled. They're way more fundamentally sound. All around better shooters. Almost every girl can shoot the ball.
Okay, no
Because
to all
we're
that.
taught that.
All that is
There's
wrong.
also a smaller ball.
But
I don't know why they use a smaller ball.
well, here's the thing. In my personal opinion, what I would do, I would bring the hoop down.
No.
Just let me get it all out.
Go ahead.
Bring the hoop down. You're never going to be incredible dunkers. But if you bring it down a foot, right, you have the smaller ball so it's palmable and you guys can actually do shit with it. Then you just get a few dunks in the game. It can kind of happen.
It changes the whole game.
But here's what we're doing. We're making a different game out of it.
Okay, so you're saying just make it a whole nother game. Because
We're
that's
making it a
essentially, if you
different
drop
game.
the rim down, you change the entire dynamics
want
of
that.
everything in the game. Because once you do that, other players have to learn, oh shit, this girl can dunk now. I'm not able to get over here and help. If she, like,
Yep.
it's a whole nother
I
game.
want a whole nother game, and this is why. We know evolution takes time. The amount of time it would take for women to evolve to be able to compete with men at a physical sport like basketball is hundreds of thousands of years. Right?
Okay.
Hundreds of thousands of years for you guys to develop the same musculature.
It still wouldn't happen, but yeah.
And you know what
Let's
else wouldn't
assume-
happen?
What's that?
You motherfuckers still wouldn't come and watch if the rim was lowered and bitches was dunking.
No,
you
no,
guys
no.
just don't like
We
to
wouldn't.
see.
No.
People
we
don't
wouldn't.
like to watch
Listen,
women's
listen.
sports in America.
But
That's
look,
not just basketball.
not true.
What sport?
Golf, tennis.
Okay, those are first of all individual sports, and they're predominantly white.
No, you know what it really is.
What?
We just like, in America, if you're not hot, we won't watch you.
Right.
If you're hot,
Who's a hot woman's golfer?
Nobody.
that's not true.
Nobody.
Who?
Nobody.
Michelle, we was.
I
good
think
looking.
people watch
She was
golf
all
just
right.
people are golf
14.
There's way more people that golf
on
is
my-
not
I saw her on
a
dating
golf is
profile.
not an athletic sport in my opinion. So golf you can watch a woman play because it's essentially the same thing as a man.
Fair enough.
But tennis is different. Tennis is
Volleyball.
Oh, volleyball's fun.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Who watches volleyball though?
oh, that female volleyball shit.
In the
where
Olympics,
the girls are in
it's-
they're in their underwear. Essentially, the way women's sports works in America is if you're attractive and you dress sexy, men will watch you do anything. It's not just sports. We'll watch you walk down a runway with wings for the Victoria's Secret show, right? We'll watch you sell Fit Tea. We'll watch you put on Fashion Nova. Like, whatever you do being attractive and not wearing a lot, we watch.
That's what Australia did. You know that? They put on the bodysuit for basketball. They wear
Ratings went up?
They wear one-piece bodysuit in basketball in Australia, all their leagues, just to get the guys to come watch.
And do they
come-
watch?
Yes.
So here's the tricky thing with basketball. What would you say the number of percentage of lesbians there are on a team?
Where in America?
Or anyone in basketball.
85.
So now you got 85, right? Who are like leaning into the lesbian shit. We're not talking about lipstick lesbians.
Right. We're
We
talking
talking
about
about like, yo, you know where I could get some
Bush.
weed?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they
Like,
probably wear strap-ons.
they're gonna open a door for you, lesbian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like pound you
They're not
up.
going to want to wear that.
Nah.
It's very feminine and it's uncomfortable and it makes them feel like they're a sex toy instead of an athlete. Yeah. But in Australia, they don't care. That's the uniform. They even use it in the Olympics.
Now they might go and say, "Hey, this is sexist," but then I would go back to them and say, "What do male wrestlers wear?"
Oh,
But
shit.
that's because of the sport. You don't want
It's a competitive
loose
advantage.
clothing. Look at him.
They gotta wear it. My feeling is
Really?
like, if it gets you the money that you want,
Would you do it? I would personally. I would do it only because I love basketball and I think I look hot. So whatever.
You should absolutely. There's a couple girls out there who they need to be on the bench. Ain't gonna be starting. You know what I mean? Like we need to trim it up a little bit.
Basketball doesn't the size. That's the same thing as men. Like we don't look at men and go, you know what, this guy's ugly. I don't want to watch him dunk the ball. We don't care what he looks like. It's about the skill. But with women, it's sad that you guys just...
Because men are doing things male NBA basketball players are doing things that are just otherworldly. No human being should do this.
I would work you in basketball. So don't
You
try
would
to
work
act
me.
like women
but
can't beat you too.
If I was on TV playing basketball, would you watch? Or would you be like, why the fuck is this a televised event?
Are you talented?
I'm all right. I got a mean ass up fake. I'll get you on an up fake. You know what I mean?
If
What's
you're
up,
a
Miko?
professional athlete-
Miko will go for the block. I'm gonna be here.
If you're
under scoop.
If you're a professional
Points.
athlete, I will
Buckets.
watch you. If you're a professional, I will watch. That means you worked hard. You obviously got there for a reason.
Yeah, if I'm a professional, I could be in a professional 5'7" Indian dude league, 100%. People
No.
like me, 100%.
There's no pro Indian league.
Exactly. There shouldn't be. That's my point.
So the same argument might be
There shouldn't be any women's basketball professional.
you could make the same argument, right? We've created a league where you guys can be competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on eliminating a gender that happens to be really good.
So should there
at
not
that
be
sport.
professional women's soccer here either?
Listen, that's just double the taxes, Miko.
So
I'm just saying, should there not be professional soccer?
what I say, I mean, this is me personally, let the market decide. So if men...
Because our women's soccer is very good. No one comes to those
because
games
women have
either.
rights.
No, but they're good. They're better than other countries.
Because they don't have rights in other countries. Women in other countries are
you
giving
think that
birth.
You think that they
here.
would be better than us?
Yes.
No, I think
they're busy having babies.
No.
These chicks aren't having babies. They're doing whatever they want with their life. Because look at women's soccer, and the teams that win are the teams that come from the most egalitarian countries. All the women that are equal in the world, great teams. The countries where it's rough for women, trash teams.
Valid.
That's why
Valid
women
point.
in America are great at soccer, and men in America suck at soccer.
No, the reason we suck at soccer is because black people don't play. That's it.
Facts.
That's it. If imagine if LeBron was handling a soccer ball as a kid.
But to his point,
Come on.
LeBron would just be playing goalie, and he'd be incredible. But to his point, Brazil, I don't think their women's soccer team is crazy, right? Why is the men's soccer team so fucking good? That's all they play. That's the entire, no other sport really
Because women are
exists in
getting
Brazil.
ass shots, and
I
they're
think
learning
it's
how to do
because
their
when
eyelashes.
you grow
They're
up
not learning
in
how to kick
Brazil,
goals.
your first thing you're given is a soccer ball. That's it.
Why
That's
aren't women given
Why
that?
aren't women good? Why
Here?
isn't the
No,
why
in
aren't the
Brazil.
Brazilian female team good?
Because they don't play.
Why
They're
not?
not given
Now we're getting there.
sports.
Why
They're
not?
given an opportunity
That's
to
his
play
point.
You're making my
sports.
That's his
argument.
point.
Yes,
Why not?
I understand that. But in America here, women are playing everything
And why is that?
because we can.
Because we say to these girls, "Hey, you're a girl, but just because you're a girl, you don't have to wear makeup and dresses.
But her point-
you can play ball, right?
You could do both.
Exactly. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
In Brazil or in a lot of countries where women are a little bit more oppressed because of their gender, their parents go, "Why are you playing soccer? That's what lesbians do. Why don't you put on some heels and a dress
And be a girl.
and be a girl?" So the best female Brazilian soccer player is selling coconut water on a beach.
Possibly.
Do you know what I mean? Or married to some rich Brazilian soccer dude. Whereas in America, the best female soccer player, she grew up playing soccer.
Now, her point,
Yes.
though, is that women are good at soccer here and no one's watching here.
Correct.
That's her point, is that we have...
It's not like
even if
basketball.
a woman is good.
Like they're
But
kicking
I would
ass.
think if I'm a soccer fan, if I talk to a soccer fan, I think an avid soccer fan would say, no, I would much rather watch men because they're better at soccer. They're still doing things I could never do.
I think
I would think. I
maybe.
don't know.
I mean, look,
That's a guess.
my feeling is this: if people love watching women play basketball, then the market desires it, and you guys should play. I have no stake in this outside of what the market wants. Like, there's so many sports I don't get, but if people really love watching it,
like football.
some people.
It's the weirdest thing that so many people come watch grown ass men play Madden with human beings. That's essentially what the NFL is.
Yeah.
Grown ups, aka coaches, playing Madden with professional, arguably the best athletes in America.
Yeah.
So it's weird that people don't even process that the players don't even get a say in what they do out there. They literally don't get a say.
You can audible.
No, a quarterback can audible. He's the only person on the field that can actually use his own mind and do whatever the fuck he wants. Let a receiver audible. That ball's going to go somewhere else, and you're going to get the fuck yelled at him. If I tell you to run a 9, if I tell you to run a dig or a slant, and you don't do that because you feel like, oh, I can beat this dude, you fucked the whole play up.
Right.
You have to. You're a robot, and they're playing Madden, essentially.
Yeah. And
coaches
get compensated quite well for
and
being a
people are
robot.
there to watch and yelling at the players like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, well, he told me to do this. You not yelling at him?
Right.
It's crazy.
No, I hear you. I guess my point is, whatever people want to watch, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If it's
And
female
they don't
sports,
want to watch
great.
the WNBA. People here really don't
So
want to watch
WNBA
it.
players, it's your job to figure out a way to make people want to watch you.
That's why
Simple
most
as
of
that.
them, you can't just play in the WNBA. You have to have another job. And most of them play overseas. And the ones that don't want to go over there, they do something else. They literally have another source of income because it doesn't pay enough to survive on.
You know when the NBA got really popping, people got excited about the NBA? When they were all on coke and they were swinging on each other.
That was the good days.
Those were the good days. Like tons of fights. Everybody was coked out. This is what, 80s, 90s.
Yep. And they were allowing it. You weren't getting kicked out of the game.
Nobody was looking the other way. They stopped the coke shit because my man died. The dude who played for the Nets.
Bias.
Yeah,
Len Bias. It's like he fucked it up for everybody. Coke was great. You know what I mean? Jordan
too
was
far.
playing golf all day.
I think it was a bad
doing
batch,
some
though,
coke,
wasn't
then
it?
playing. Say what?
Wasn't it a bad batch?
I don't know if it's
though?
bad or good. All I'm saying is everybody was coked up. You'd have some fights. Bill Laimbeer was just elbowing people for no fucking reason.
No reason. Getting away with it.
And it's exciting. It was like going to a NASCAR game, right? You go to a NASCAR thing to see the crash, not to see them going around in a
who
circle.
gives a fuck about
So you
those
go to the
laps?
basketball game, be like, yo, these motherfuckers about to fight.
It might get ugly.
It's going to be real. These WNBA chicks need to start swinging.
No.
Yes. Pull some tracks out. Elbows for real. Knock
watch
some
that.
teeth out.
I'd watch that.
We don't love girl fights? Go on
Y'all
World
should
Star.
watch
90% of that shit is girl fights, right?
Yep.
I want to see these girls throwing blows.
Alex, you said you watched that?
I would watch that.
Hell yeah. Let's see some rock. Stop
I
getting
don't know
along
if they
too much. Y'all want to
you know,
hug
it
and
kind of-
kiss.
I'm a purist. I'm a basketball purist. I love the game. I love the competitiveness and I love the fundamentals of the game. So for me, it would almost be like making WNBA like WWE.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's acting. Most of them would act out fights. It would be fake fights just to get you
Yep.
guys to watch.
Yes.
It would
Hockey.
be stupid.
Hockey.
And then you lose.
You should be allowed to fight, and there should be a 30-second penalty.
Yeah, I feel that.
In
But I just don't
WNBA.
know if the women. No, I don't think they would do it. I don't
They
think
might
would do
not,
it.
but if they want people to watch, I'm locked in. I am
I feel like
locked
all these things that
in.
you're suggesting could still very well have 0 people in the stands.
If you got to guarantee
Nah,
see
if
some
women
girl
fought,
fights,
men would give a fuck.
hells yeah, we love girl fights.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I don't know that I would care, but yeah, most people would.
It's not a fighting
I'm
sport.
watching in person.
Dude, you got to. That's how you save WNBA.
To be honest,
let them start swinging on each other.
If they started fighting and I didn't want to go, all my friends would tell me I was gay so much that I'd be like, all right, fine, let's go. I'll give them my money. Fine, whatever.
There it is. Another great reason.
Damn. I feel sorry for them. Like because I know that a lot of them don't like going overseas. It's so much. You essentially end up playing year round when you go overseas because you don't get a break. Your body
Right.
starts to break down, but you get the money. And I ask a couple of my girlfriends, I'm like, why do you even play in the WNBA? And they say they get pressure
Like who?
from the league. They're like, they
No, who'd
need
you
the
ask?
stars. I'm not bringing up people's names.
Come on, Miko.
Fuck
It's
outta here.
Flagrant
No.
too.
I can't bring up people's name just because I want to talk some shit. That don't mean other people want their name out
All right,
there.
fine.
Fuck out of here.
Go.
But they
You don't
essentially
need to
feel
cuss at them,
pressure.
man, you know what I mean? Come
They
on.
feel pr-
See how
Yes, my
exciting that
nigga,
just
though.
was?
My nigga.
You see how we got in a fight and it was exciting and everybody listened was like, oh shit, those are fighting words. You know what I'm saying? That's what WNBA needs.
Everybody
I need
click on their
Sue
YouTube
Bird
right now.
to go
they get
talk to the
pressure.
other chick.
They
Who's
get
the other chick?
pressure to shut up. They get
Who's
pressure.
the other chick in there?
Skylar Diggins.
Skylar Diggins. I need Sue Bird to go, hey, fuck you, bitch. I can't wait till
I'll
we
swing
come
on
play.
you, bitch.
That's it. I'm going to give you 40 tonight, ho.
Oh, that
Start
happens.
tweeting at each
They're
other.
Not that happens in the game. There's
they
shit
too
talk,
polite.
but it's polite. It is very
Stop
quiet
being
and
polite.
and it's not publicized. But
What
I
did
think
Michael
that,
Jordan say to Iverson the first time he met him?
What?
What's up, you little bitch?
Ooh, that would be that. Those crossovers meant so much more to him. I
Oh,
bet.
yeah.
Oh, that
After he
first
got
cross?
the-
He's
when
like,
he
who's
had
the bitch
Jordan-
now, right?
Yeah, when he had
Come
that
on,
motherfucker
yo.
leaning.
Come on, yo.
Yeah.
I'm saying we
I'm a
need
shit
some
talker
fight.
though. I am a legit. When I play any sport, I I almost get kicked out of my tennis leagues because I talk so much
Tennis
shit.
leagues.
Yeah. I've
You
gotten
yelling across the court or the changeovers?
No, it's during the match.
Yep.
Like whenever, like if I get a ball like at the net, they call me the wall. And whenever I get ready to hit it, I'll just say some like bitch ass nigga, like when I hit it hard as fuck. Because that's just who I am. Like I don't mean it to you. I mean it to you, but I don't. It's just how I play. And there's like, hey, you can't talk shit. I say the fuck I want to say. And then at that point, then they're mad. I'm mad. I go crack a beer in between because I drink when I.
You wild, Miko.
Yeah, a lot of girls drink in between sets. I get better as I get drunker, to believe it or not.
Yeah.
And then the shit talking will start sometimes, and then it gets real personal.
What the fuck tennis league are you in? Just a
All
bunch of
these
drunk
rich
bitches
white
yelling at each other.
No, I'm the only black guy. If I see a black girl in my leagues, I be like, hey, we here, we out here. She'd be like, hey, because it's not very common. You know, it's just a whole bunch of wealthy white women. Playing tennis, have no job, no life. Their husband's at work, their kids are at school, and they out here drinking wine and playing tennis every day.
Let me tell you something. If after that shit talk, y'all want to fight, Andrew
They
and
never
Alex will
want
be
to
there.
fade. They never. That's just talk on the court. And then I've been called a nigger once.
Really?
Oh,
Yep,
shit.
one time.
By whom?
Some white girl, some fat white girl. I hit the ball hard as fuck
I'm
at
sorry.
her neck.
What was she?
Fat white girl.
Say that one more time.
Fat white bitch.
Was she at a comedy show this weekend?
No, she's in Fort Lauderdale. She was talking. She was upset. She was saying that you know, when you play tennis, you're not supposed to intentionally hit someone with the ball, and I don't.
Real quick.
What?
If a white WNBA player called the black one the N
Nigger?
word,
Oh, it's going down.
and they were gonna play a game,
It's going down.
I'm watching that
we
game.
watching it.
I'm
It's
watching
going
that
down.
game. I'm
Yo,
watching that game.
Sue Bird, do you care about the league?
Call
Drop
somebody a
an M-bomb
nigger.
for the culture.
Drop an M-bomb before the game. And
Okay,
see
so
what
what'd she
happens.
say to you?
What I was hitting, you know, they were trying to get the ball by me and they couldn't, so I kept firing balls at her, and you know, she had to duck at a couple of them, and I was just like, "Yo, move," because I'm flying these bitches at you, and she just kind of passively said it as we were crossing.
What'd she say?
She was like, "Fucking nigger."
Ooh.
And I said, what? And my partner grabbed me. She was like, oh, shit. And I was like, bitch, I will fuck you up in here. She was like, don't talk to me like that. And I said, you called me a fucking nigger? She goes, I didn't call you a nigger. I said, I heard you. My partner heard you. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say. I said, bitch, I will fuck you. I don't give a fuck about this league. I will beat your motherfucking ass on this tennis court. And then she quit.
That's how I would have handled it.
And she quit because I told her, I said, every ball I get, I don't even give a fuck if they go out of bounds. I'm flying them hoes at your fucking face every time. And then she quit. She wouldn't even, she forfeit the match because
Well,
she
you
knew.
can't trust a fat bitch to finish anything except her food.
So, okay. Damn. That's crazy that she called you an N-word. But
Yeah.
it did really make the story more exciting.
Yeah, I wanted to
That's what I'm
beat
trying
her
to say.
fucking ass, but I couldn't because I knew I'm black. If the cops, and she even said that after the match was over,
Yeah.
and we walked to where they have the little food and
Yeah.
stuff, and I was telling her captain that she called me nigger or whatever, and she was like, you know what? I don't care what you say. I'm gonna call the police right now, and I'm gonna tell them that you were harassing me, and they're gonna believe me because I'm white.
You know what it is?
She said that to me.
This is 100% believable, and I think it's totally right. This is what's wrong with the WNBA. You want to talk about how there's no marketing put into it? These women get along too well.
They're nice. They are.
They're fucking nice to each other. They're in it
They
together.
didn't used to be.
I don't give a fuck. My point is, if you look at NBA, you look at NFL, right? You look at NHL. You look at soccer. Soccer, the fans are fighting. The players are kicking each other. They're headbutting each other. In the NBA, or definitely in the NFL, they build up these rivalries big time. People are
Yeah.
fighting in the stands. There's a history
How do you
of
do
this.
that?
You fake it till you make it. You show a hard foul. You show a girl cursing at each other. You show a girl
Get in
taking
each
out her
other's
fucking thing,
face.
getting her face thrown. Fake it. Give me a reason to tune in. Sports is basically war, but done in a safer space, right? We're not going to kill each other. Why don't we just try to
Referees.
put this in the hoop?
Yeah.
Whatever. Create war. You have two people competing for fun. Fuck fun.
I see what you're saying.
Give me a.
It is a very nice and polite sport.
Let me tell you something.
It's different than the NBA.
Let me tell you something. That girl that called you the N-word, if you got to play her in the finals of the next tournament,
Oh God, it's on.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm
And
showing up.
talking
Alex is
cash
bringing
shit.
cameras.
And I'm talking cash shit across the net every play. I'm on her fucking
If you
neck.
just tweeted once, you said, yo, I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm about to play this bitch who called me the N-word.
yeah,
Shit
it's
might go
on.
down.
Pull up.
30 people coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tweet
Because
it.
we know you fight cops, so you definitely fight Becky.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I never fought no fucking
We know you
cops.
fight cops. It's
Oh
all
my
good.
God,
Don't worry about
I would
it.
have been dead
Don't.
if I did any of that list, that long ass list of shit they said I did.
First
They would
of
have
all,
shot me.
This is how I know you fight cops, because I
How?
said you fight cops, and then you did this classic girl shit when a girl's lying. You went, I never did it, and you push your hair behind your shoulder.
I didn't even know. I got choke slammed from behind.
I know, it's a great image of it.
It's so sick. I couldn't believe it.
I saw the image of it. No, it's a great
I
image.
couldn't believe it. And then
And
they had a
Miko.
whole list of shit that I did, and I was like, what?
Let me ask you a question, Miko. After that happened, was that a big news story?
Huge. It was the
Huge
biggest story in Fort
wasn't it-
Lauderdale.
Wasn't
the
it a big
entire
story?
news.
Interesting how a fight turned out into be the biggest
News story of the year.
Exactly.
It was the number one clicked on
this.
any news story that broke in Fort Lauderdale in 2015. It was the number one story for the whole year.
Were you kind of proud of that, low key?
Yes.
Yeah. I knew it.
Rondo, Chris Paul. Huge story.
Huge.
For days. Where is that in the WNBA? The WNBA has been around for I don't know how many years. I never once
Since
have seen
2000,
a fight. And I know
18
girls
years.
fight. I know for a fact, and I know
Oh,
for a
yeah.
fact lesbians fight.
I fought in games when I was younger, but not when I got older.
All I'm saying is, ladies, leave it on the court. Go fucking handle this shit. I know that you're telling me there's not some girl on her fucking period. She got to play 40 minutes. She's pissed off about that shit. She just want to swing at some bitch because she got the same nail polish. Just start fighting. I swear to God,
We're coming.
men will tune into this shit
I wonder if that would
stop.
work. Because I always think that men just don't care about women's sports at all. But now that you put it that
We
way,
fucks with drama,
I
though.
feel like
Men
you
are
guys
more
like
into drama
you guys
than
like
women.
fighting,
about this.
aggression, yelling, anger.
Think about this. You
like
ready?
that.
You ready? MMA, female MMA. Ronda Rousey,
Oh yeah,
who is a trash fighter,
but
reached the pinnacle of her sport, dominated by men. Just girls fighting girls. Why? One, it's fighting, but two, it's shit talk.
she was Yeah,
She was talking that shit.
That shit.
She was
I
also
could
good
beat
looking
up
for an
anybody.
MMA fighter.
Well, we
Yeah,
need
she was
good looking.
attractive,
But
too.
there's good looking girls in the league, or good looking enough. There
Yeah.
are good looking
I think Skylar
enough
Diggins bad.
girls. Skylar Diggins is good looking enough. There's good looking enough chicks in the league where you would have people tuning in, and if Skylar Diggins started talking that shit and said, "Fuck it," you need a Charles Barkley. Too many girls in WNBA want to be in broadcasting. I'm not your role model. I fight bitches.
that would be
They
you.
need you.
They need
The
a Miko
WNBA
Grimes.
needs Miko fucking Grimes.
I'm
Swinging on
washed.
bitches.
I'm old and washed now. Though.
Miko's suspended for the next 3 games. Why? She knocked out some white bitch at her tennis tournament.
And yep.
Boom.
They play each other in 2 weeks. Everybody's coming.
WNBA
Right,
needs a
see?
Charles fucking Barkley of a girl. Talking you gotta take that phone off the table. It's driving me crazy.
For ADHD.
Because you got the lights and everything like that. I'm getting
flash.
flashbacks. I'm telling you, that's what saves it. We don't got to be on it for too long. That's what. All right, we're gonna stop for a second, pay some bills. We got a new sponsor here on the Flagrant 2 podcast, and it is Action Heat. Okay, Action Heat makes the world's best battery-heated clothing, so you can stay heated no matter what you're wearing, and especially hot if you got them gloves. We're getting shirts and gloves coming in. I'm very excited. Haven't hit here yet, but they're gonna be coming. It literally has a battery and heating apparatus within the glove and within the shirt. Okay, I might be out there in this cold New York winter with just a t-shirt on. You're looking at me crazy like, man, what do you say always, Akaash? That white people don't get cold?
They're
Right?
real bragging about how not cold they are.
You know why? Because we stay with Action Heat, okay? So everybody get on the level. Get on the level. You see this white guy with a little t-shirt on in the middle of a football game? He got the Action Heat. Okay, just all warm, completely warm. You guys can get it too, all right? So now what they are is they're powered by a rechargeable 5-volt lithium-ion battery and lasts up to 12 hours. Action Heat clothing is engineered to safely and efficiently deliver heat at temperatures of up to 135 degrees. That's right, it's gonna get hot in there. Batteries can also be used to recharge your phone while you're wearing them. Think about that. Your shirt, your gloves, your jacket, your pants can recharge your phone if you're running out of battery. It's too good. You walking around with a charger. Action Heat clothing provides toasty warmth and comfort for your whole body, included heated jackets, socks, gloves, hats, and even undergarments like heated base layer shirts and long johns. It's perfect for any friends or family on your holiday gift list, whether they work outdoors, ski, snowboard, or if they just hate being cold.
listen, you're going to check out some football games, some college football games, some anything outside. You got a little kid who's going to be running around in the snow all day. You're not going to be running around in the snow. You're going to be freezing your ass off. Get some Action Heat. They offer heated products that fit everyone's budget, all right? They're starting at just $39.99. That's it, $39.99. We're getting the gloves and the shirts. I'm very excited about it. So you can check out everything at Action Heat has to offer and save 20% off your entire order at actionheat.com/flagrant. Okay, that's actionheat.com/flagrant. Or use the coupon code FLAGRANT at the checkout to save 20%. All right, check it out. Now, let's get back to the show. Now, Miko Grimes, your last name, Grimes, comes from Brent Grimes.
Yes.
Who?
Baby daddy.
Baby daddy, hubby.
Uh-huh.
Brent Grimes, cornerback in the NFL. Best cornerback over the last 8 years.
Facts. Big
Best
fucking
cornerback
facts.
over the last 8 years. Now, let's put that out there in the world because I did not believe it until I fell victim of the Miko Grimes hype train. Hey, it's a hell of a fucking hype train.
Let's go. Let's go.
This girl is cutting clips every single week.
I
I'm
stopped
watching
doing that
these-
after a
First
while,
of all, you
'cause
gotta
I-
not stop. But you want him out of
Yeah.
the league. You're too good
Yeah.
at it. This is the problem. She got too good at the hype train,
Right.
and he kept
Yes.
getting contracts. And he was like, "Let me
Now-
get this
yeah.
motherfucker out of here before he CTs."
Yeah.
Takes
It
out the whole
got
family.
those clips. Yeah.
But just to set up context, and I want you to get into depth of it. You basically realize that your husband, you believe, is the best corner in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a great argument to be made. The best corner over the last 8 years, 8 or 10,
I would
because he
say
was
give him
overseas
8.
for a couple.
He went 1 year.
1 year.
He's been in the league 13 years.
But the last 8 has been consistent
Dominant.
dominance
Amazing. Yes.
with zero credit.
0.
Also worth noting, he came back from a torn Achilles. You're not supposed
We're
to
going
come
to get
back
to
from a
that.
torn
We're going to get to that too,
All
because
right.
that's another big thing that I want to get to as well. But everybody's listening right now going, best corner in the league over the last 8 years, Brent Grimes. Who the fuck is Brent Grimes?
Yeah,
There's a
who
lot of
is-
people who have no fucking clue who Brent Grimes is.
Right.
I want you to tell us why he is the best over the last 8 years.
Okay. So if you know football, you know this.
Yes.
Whenever you come onto a team, he's undrafted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the reason he was undrafted is because he had 28 interceptions in college,
Mm-hmm.
and people thought it was a fluke because he played Division II football.
Right.
He also led his team in yards, overall yards, and all he did was punts and kickoffs. That's it. Okay, he's got records. He wasn't drafted. No one believed his stats were legit.
Right.
So they sent him to NFL Europe.
Right.
He went over to NFL Europe, flamed that whole league, won what was called the Super Bowl, but the World Bowl there.
Right.
Came back to the NFL on the Atlanta Falcons team. Now, whenever there's a new regime, like coaches get fired, if you weren't drafted by the people that brought you in, 9 times out of 10, they're getting rid of you. They're bringing in their own
They have like
free
their type
agents.
of player, right?
Yeah, a type for their system. He lasted 2 regimes in Atlanta, not drafted.
So let me slow that down. So usually somebody in his position would get yanked out with the new regime.
Yes,
Because
quickly.
he wasn't the type of player.
Type or the guy that they picked.
But you're saying that his skill was so, not only his skill, but his execution was so obvious, they said, let's keep this guy.
Let's keep this guy.
This happened
Yes.
2 regimes.
2 regimes, okay?
Okay.
So he plays in Atlanta.
Did he play with Vic?
Yes.
Did
He
they
was-
share any hoes? Because Vic got the bumps, as far as I've heard.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think
you
so.
would definitely know.
I would
So
know, yes.
So-
I don't think he shared. He doesn't have that, but I don't think they shared any knows. Brent was, a little passive. He wasn't out there like that.
Right.
But how he played with Vic, he was Michael Vick's receiver in practice a lot of times.
Why?
Because he was on the practice squad. He wasn't playing the first 3 years. He was not playing. He was literally, they used him in practice as a dummy. Basically, he played receiver and corner in practice. If they had like somebody like for example, Roddy White, they'd be like, okay, Brent, go guard Roddy. We're going to try to run these routes and see if these work. And Brent would be like the guinea pig to do it. Then they'd say, Brent, go at D'Angelo Hall. We need a receiver that's fast so that he can work on.
He'll pretend to be
Right.
He was-
Deshaun Jackson or
Right,
whoever.
right.
Yes.
So a thing to mention about Brent is Brent's stature, not big. What is he, 5'10"?
5'9" 3/4 on his
5'9",
best
3/4,
day.
right? But he is undoubtedly a freakish athlete.
Freak, yes.
And when we say freakish athlete, and I've met Brent, funny dude, you guys came to the comedy show, you wouldn't see it when you actually see him. But if you watch certain highlights, his leaping ability is fucking insane.
Insane.
What is it, 40 plus?
He thinks it's 46, 48.
I mean, this is like, it's insane. His speed is wild too. So he's been very effective at, like, if he even makes a
Closing
mistake,
gaps.
closing gap, etc.
Yes.
He's built in the way that you would want a corner built.
Except now, they want a tall.
Now they want
corner.
taller corners.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Uh-huh.
We'll get there in a second. Right. So he's able to stay on. Freak athlete. Everybody agrees on that. All scouts agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. He's here. He's on the Falcons. He's like imitating all these other players. You see it a lot with boxing. It's like, okay, I'm
Yes.
going to fight Floyd. You bring a guy into camp who kind of
Okay.
has the shoulder roll,
Yes.
and you're like, do your best to
Yeah.
imitate. And he has this incredible
Chameleon.
speed.
He's a chameleon.
He can do everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When does he get the break?
2009. So he tried to quit the team so many times, and because he was saying I'm not playing. That he got off the practice squad,
Right.
And he's like, they never play me. I never get to play. Like, I'm so bored, and I stopped coming to the games because I worked too. I had a radio show at the time.
That's right.
I also did sideline reporting, and then I moonlit at a sports bar. You know,
Another thing we should say about Miko is that you're a journalism major.
yes.
Like you went to
Broadcast, yes.
before a broadcast. That's right, broadcasting major. Before you played overseas, but you did 4 years and you got your education in broadcasting.
First, exercise science, kinesiology, nutritional science first.
That's right. And we're
Personal
going to get to
training.
that in a second, which is very exciting. But yeah, go on.
And then broadcast and mass communication.
Right.
Yes.
All this stuff starts to like come
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah.
We have all these different stories. It's like The Wire. There's all these different storylines, and they're
Right,
going
right,
to
right.
come
All
together
merge,
very
yes.
soon. Okay.
Yes.
So
he's telling me that he's upset that I'm not there. Like, when he gets home from the game, he's alone. He has no one to vent to. I'm at
Right.
work and blah, blah. He's like, I need somebody that's going to support me, that's going to believe in me, and blah, blah, blah. Come, even if I'm on the bench, I just want to be able to look up, road trips. He doesn't really hang out with any guys on the team. He just sits in his room alone. He's like, I need somebody to come hang out with me and spend this time with me. I'm miserable.
This guy's an angel.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And
he
so,
really.
I want my girlfriend at the. You know how faithful you got to be to say I want my girlfriend at my games.
Yeah.
Every game.
We're gonna get into.
I
it.
get
It's really
bored on the road.
We're gonna get into
because
it.
I'm
Watch.
alone in my room.
We're giving.
I'm an NFL player.
Fucking angel. This
Okay,
guy.
so we're giving Brent a lot of credit for this, but this is
deserves
going to turn into credit for you.
I know.
here.
I hope
go
so.
on.
But so then.
No, you'll see. Go
Yeah,
on.
I've been working. So I said to him, okay, that's fine. I said, he wanted me to quit all my jobs and really just support him. And I said, dog, real shit, you might not make it. This is year 3. Most people in your situation, undrafted, are gone by year 4. We're going to have jobs. We're going to have to work to
Right.
take care of ourselves. And he was just like, I just need somebody to believe in me. I need something to happen. And mind you, I'm on the radio at the time as well. So then I tell him, the only thing that you need to happen is you need 3 people to get injured, 3 corners, and you will get a shot.
So you pull the Nancy Kerrigan.
I didn't pull the gods pulled the Nancy Kerrigan. 3 motherfuckers got hurt.
No.
Yes.
Who gets hurt?
D'Angelo Hall?
No, he was already gone. Chris. Shit.
It don't
Ty
matter.
Hill, Chris Houston, Williams. Whatever. Those 3 guys get hurt. And I'm on the radio talking about it. I get home. I go, yo, you're going to start. He goes, they're not going to start me. They're going to go get some veteran for league minimum, bring him in,
Which
and let
does
him
happen.
finish the league,
Yeah.
finish the season. I said, no, Arthur Blank is cheap. I know I've been covering him for a couple years.
Arthur Blake is the owner.
The owner of the
Blank
team.
is the owner,
I
yeah.
said, he's cheap. He already has you. They already know you're good. They just don't play you because you're just not drafted. You're not. All these guys have names. They're big image. They went to a big Division I school.
Right.
They're the guys. I go, but they're going to play you. There's only 6 games left. So he's like, okay, well, I believe you, but I don't think so. So I said, just go to practice, have an open mind about it, like, just be positive. As soon as he got to practice, he called me. He's like, I'm starting.
Hell yeah.
I was like, shut the
Let's
fuck
fucking
up.
go. Okay.
Let's fucking go.
All right.
6 interceptions
To
finish the season.
No, but hold on, here's a cool
2009.
story.
Real quick. So 6 games left, 6 interceptions.
5 he got one earlier. Ty Hill had a sub out in New Orleans on Monday night game. He was getting cooked up and down the field. He said he needed a timeout to come out 2 plays off to catch his breath.
Yes.
They threw Brent in. He was just happened to stand right next to the coach. The coach goes, 2 reps, hurry up, run in. Brent gets an interception.
And that's
2
still
reps.
not enough.
Right.
They yank him after that. He never plays again. That's like week 8. He plays again week 12. Is 12 or 13
Right.
when he starts.
Right.
He gets 5 interceptions in that last run.
Cool story though for Miko.
Yeah.
Credit for you. What did his cornerback coach tell him when he started? And
He
what
told
did you
him,
tell him?
Do not do all that stuff you do in practice, all that diving, intercepting balls, you're going to get beat. They're going to beat you, don't get beat. Make sure the guy catches in front of you and just tackles him.
Okay.
Just tackle him. Don't do all that extra athletic stuff that you do. His name's Van Gorder, piece of shit. I think he coaches college basketball now. He probably coaches at Auburn or something.
Football.
College, football.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told Britt, don't
Why
be
would
extra.
he say that?
Because you
get burned, and also, you're going to demand money if people see how athletic you are.
This is I can't wait to get to all these conversations. We are just setting the seeds right now.
Yes.
When these seeds go, because Miko has insight to this game that one, many people do not. Two, the people that do not like to share.
Correct.
And that is how a team will inhibit the good play of their own players so they do not have to pay them. It sounds cockamamie. It sounds
makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. Why would you want your team to do worse?
Because you have a hard salary cap.
Yep.
Why would you want to lose?
They don't care. There's a win. There's never a lose.
We're going to get
in the
there,
NFL.
but think about it. Why would you want to lose?
I don't know that this guy is necessarily going to help me win.
Exactly.
I don't know. But
I do know if he makes great plays,
yeah.
I'm going to have to pay him.
He gets great plays. And
Your
we still
job-
might not be good enough
We can
to
still lose the game.
Your job is to win games, or else you could get fired.
So the order, I think one GM, I saw this on Twitter, you can correct me if I'm wrong. One GM said, this is the order in which you pay people. The guy who throws the ball, the guys who stops the guy who throws the ball, the guys who catches the ball,
Right.
the guys who stop the guy to catch the ball.
and the guy who blocks for the guy who's throwing the ball.
Exactly.
That's the order.
Sure.
So how far down that list is cornerback?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. My point is everybody's job is contingent on winning.
Right.
The cornerback coach, the defense, the offense. Everybody's contingent on winning and executing. To tell a player not to execute and to give you a less of a chance of winning goes against all logic.
It does.
We're going to
You
get
would
there.
think.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. All I'm saying is we can at least acknowledge that it goes against
Yeah, I see
logic.
how, I get it, but I can see how it sounds crazy, but I
Yeah.
get it.
It is crazy.
So halftime of the game,
Yeah.
which is illegal. I don't give a fuck. I still do it. I text him at halftime. He sees my
This
text.
is his first start.
Yes.
Go.
And I said, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, why didn't you break on that ball? And he said, the coach told me not to. They told me don't gamble. We need to just get out of here with, just because I guess they had a chance to win the game, but they were like, don't do anything that could cause us to lose the game. If you try to break on something, they double move, beat your ass down the field, and then we're fucked. And I said, who's going to play? He goes, they might bench me if I don't listen to them. I go, who's going to play? Who's going to fucking play?
Miko held it down.
Everyone's injured. They got to go with you. They have to go get the fucking ball.
Right. Okay, so you tell him to go get it for that second half.
Yes.
Okay. Now, he is in the best situation because truly who is going to play?
Who's going to play?
If he does get burned,
Who's going to play?
ain't nobody there.
Who's gonna
so
play?
you're going to get your second chance.
Yes.
Okay. Does he agree on the phone to roll the dice?
Yes.
Does he go out there and do it?
Yes.
What happens?
He intercepts the ball.
First play.
Probably round about that. Yep. And literally hands it to me.
Up in the
And
stands.
that's how it started. He's given me every single interception. I've been at every single game.
Okay.
I love this guy.
And now, finishes out the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. Do the coaches lay off him with the playing well? Playing, going for things and going
No.
at balls?
No.
What happens with that?
They're still yelling at him, but you know what they do? Because sometimes he was getting, he was not getting burned, but he's being aggressive.
Right.
And when you're aggressive, people are gonna catch balls on you. It's a gamesmanship. It's a part of the game. And they yell at him sometimes like, "Yo, don't go for those." Don't go. He's like, "I'm trying to make plays." But whenever he gets the interception, they're just like, "I told you not to do that, but good fucking play." It's like, "Oh shit, good play." Like they're
It's
excited.
like when you
about
pull
the
up for
play.
a long three and then make
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You always see coaches.
What the
You
fuck,
always go, "What the-"
good play.
Shit.
Like that. So essentially, that's what he was doing,
Okay.
and he did what he needed to do to get himself out there. So then all of a sudden, it was like, who's Brent Grimes?
So the name starts to bubble. Mm-hmm. Now you quit your job following season.
No, that season I quit.
You quit that season immediately.
Yes.
So he says, "I need somebody."
Mm-hmm.
You quit your job. You
Yes.
become the support system.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people assume things about being a player's wife from these various TV shows, this kind of the other stuff. Oh, I'm going to go out shopping during the day,
Right.
then I'm going to show up to the game, and then I'm going to watch the game
Real quick question for clarification. As soon as he said, I need somebody, you just quit before he was even starting?
No, I said to him that, I was already nervous. We had just moved in together, and I told him I was nervous about that because if he decides to dump me, I have nowhere to live. So he paid my rent while we moved in. He told me, I'm going to pay your rent at your apartment. So whatever happens, if we break up, whatever, you'll still have your apartment.
Oh, you're a girlfriend at the time.
Yes, I'm just a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's an angel.
I'm just a girlfriend.
Yo, first of all, yes. But so
I'm just a girlfriend.
So big
and
sacrifice.
so how he got me to quit my jobs and he proposed.
Smart. You know what? That's what my mom did with my dad.
Oh, yeah?
She was like, no, you can't move in. You got to marry me.
Yeah,
He's
well,
like,
I
"We
told
should
him if
move
he
in
wanted
together."
me to
He's like,
commit
"Why?"
like that, to give up my career
Yeah.
and everything, I wanted a bigger commitment from him. And he was like, well, what does that mean? I said, well, I just want to know that it's me, that I'm the one.
Yeah.
I need to know that this is going into that direction. And
Yeah.
he was like, okay. And then the next day he was like, okay, let's get married. Will you marry me? And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't
Okay.
mean like
turns
that
out
fast.
Turns out to be the greatest, decision that Brent makes. And this will come in, obviously, later. But so you quit your job, you quit your career, you quit everything that you worked for, everything that you wanted to do. You're literally living your dream, being a broadcaster and a journalist.
Yes,
Living your dream. You quit it for this guy who you may or may not marry,
correct.
who may or may not be in the
Successful.
NFL,
Yes.
who is a couple misplays and a recovery from an injury away from being out of the fucking league.
Correct.
Okay. He has a great end of the season. I imagine he's not contracted for the next year.
No.
What
That's
happens?
the best situation.
He's a free agent.
Okay.
And they offered him I want to say $400,000
Okay.
for the year.
Okay.
And I told him not to take it.
This is the first time we see Miko playing
Agent.
manager
Yes.
/ agent.
Is it restricted free agent or unrestricted?
Unrestricted.
Unrestricted.
Can go any fucking
Yeah.
where he wants.
So you say no to 400. You got no job. He got no job.
Yeah.
Both of you
I tell his
going
agent.
broke.
I had money saved up.
You had
He
your
had
little
some money.
30,000. Look at
65.
cute little 30,000.
65, motherfucker. 65. And so I tell his agent.
You got
to-
65 and 6 interceptions.
I tell
6
his-
interception footballs.
Well,
You can sell
that was my money.
Right,
my
right, right.
I tell his agent to shop him to other teams, and his agent says no
Why?
because he says he wants to build a relationship with the Falcons,
Real
and
quick.
if he turns that offer down, they might not sign his other player.
Yeah.
So now let's get into this. Now we get into the minutia of what it is being a team and being an agent and being a player.
Yes.
These agents do not always represent
Nope.
the player.
Nope.
They represent
themselves and their clients.
So if I have this corner who happen to have a stellar end of the season, now I'm an agent. I'm not an idiot. I know the game. This kid can fucking ball.
Yeah.
So why don't I get him cheap and then get my other lineman signed
Yep.
who might not have as much value,
Yep.
but then I get 2 contracts.
Yep.
Because I can get 1.5 million out of him instead of just 600,000 or 800,
Correct.
whatever you want. So you're in a situation where you don't have the leverage to fire your agent, but you have the wherewithal to go, no,
Correct.
get me this. What do you say to the agent?
I say a lot of things, and Brent tells.
Was it reminiscent of a tennis match?
Oh yeah, I cussed his ass out. I went at him.
Reminiscent
so many
of your
times.
Twitter.
I went the fuck off on him, and Brent was like, "What are you doing? He's my agent. He knows what's best." I said, "He don't know shit. You were his first client ever. He lives around the corner from you. Only reason you signed him is because your mom told you to. He's not even like a big. He's got his own little rinky-dink industry. No shade to people starting off, but you're somebody. And now that I've seen you play, I feel like you're going to be very talented. You need somebody that has your back and is willing to go out there and shop you to everybody and say fuck them and their
6
400,000.
interceptions is not. It's
That-
fucking
Some
crazy.
people never have that their whole career in a season.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yep, yep,
Ever.
yep, yep, yep.
That's crazy. For
In
somebody
7
off
games
the
started
bench.
or whatever.
Off the bench.
Now, there is another angle to that, which is he's an untested corner, so quarterbacks every week are going, yo, let's go at the
they
new
kept
Nah.
going. No, they
Yes,
were.
that's
when they
exactly
saw
how
a
the
new
game
body,
works.
that's why he was getting the balls, because they kept trying him.
For example,
six-
there are
but
certain
6
guys
is
that
still
never
crazy.
get thrown at.
Like yesterday, he didn't get a single. Eli didn't throw a single ball at him
so
yesterday.
here's
not
another
one.
thing I've noticed with Brent, especially later in his career. he's not going to put up these crazy interception numbers. But the reason that is because guys are not going at him. And you
Nope.
see this with
Okay.
all the greats.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the point I was trying to make is, if you're a great, let's say Darrelle Revis, for example, let's say he's an undrafted corner, and then he comes in after 3 guys are injured, and I'm a quarterback that week,
I'm going at him.
a D2 corner who was 4th string,
Yeah.
hum. That's food.
Yes.
So I think every quarterback is thinking that going into the game.
Yeah, when
Right,
they watch
right,
the
right.
film, they're like, this guy have no film on him. They don't know anything about him.
D2.
Throw at him every
I'm sorry,
time.
did you say D2?
Yep.
And he light skinned?
And
Let's
he's
go.
light skinned. He's half white.
No dreads?
He's half white.
His name is
Brent.
Brent.
That's exactly what
Right?
happened.
And little did they know,
This motherfucker
interceptions
got
are popping
game.
up.
Yes.
Okay. Take us back.
Yes. So then I tell him to fire the agent. He goes, no, I don't have anybody else. I need him, blah, blah, blah. The guy won't shop him. And he goes, no, I'm taking this deal from the Falcons. Fine. He takes the deal. He comes in to the year. They bring in another guy and tell Brent he has to compete for the starting spot. He doesn't even have the starting spot. And he's pissed.
Gotcha.
Right? So then he comes to the training camp. The guy ends up getting hurt that he's competing against.
God wants Brent to play.
God wants Brent to play. So Brent starting
I would
2000,
hate to be a starting corner on
2000
Brent's team.
2010.
Guaranteed
Yeah,
injury.
2010, Brent has 5 interceptions that season. First time starting the whole season, all 16.
Right.
Started, 5 interceptions, goes to the Pro Bowl.
$400,000 a year.
He's at the Pro Bowl where in 2010, the average corner, there was only 6 corners at the Pro Bowl.
Right.
All of them together were making $9 million a year.
$400,000 a year. But it's a 1-year deal.
1-year deal.
Now we have a Pro Bowl corner, 1-year deal with no option for the next year.
Nope.
Proven commodity. He's done it 2 years in a row.
Now it's time to make some money or no?
It's time to make some money. He still won't fire the agent.
My God, Brent.
He's loyal.
I mean, part of you's got to be like, all right, he ain't getting rid of me.
Well, we're married by
Staying
then.
around.
We got married. We got married by now.
Oh,
You know,
women
we're
could
married
get
now.
divorced.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if
but
you
I'm
know
telling
that.
him to fire this motherfucker. So now the Falcons, instead of
This guy
offering
got to
him,
cheat on somebody, man. What the fuck? Damn, Brent.
hey, I didn't say he wasn't cheating. Okay?
He is white.
So they offer him a first round tender the next year.
What does that mean?
That means if another team
fuck.
wants you, they got to give us their first round draft pick to come and get you.
And he didn't have to do that the year before.
Right.
No.
Okay, so
He didn't have to sign that one either. He could say no and be a free agent and see what another team wants to offer him. And he refused
what's
it.
the contract that they're willing to pay him?
Well, the first round tender is a set rate.
Another
for
1-year
corner.
deal.
And it's a 1-year deal, and it was $2.3 million.
Now, given the opportunity to make $2.3 million,
He was like, "Oh my God,
I know.
I'm gonna take
and you
it."
have to. I empathize with anybody in that situation because we sit here all the time in entertainment, right? And I'm sure you go as well. Well, maybe it's a little different now that you're financially set and everything. But like, Akaash and I will talk all this shit about how dumb sitcoms are and how horrible the networks are.
As soon as they pass a check,
Shit, Comedy Central come to Akaash
Let's
and go,
go.
yo, I got 2.3
I got a lot of
million.
tweets to delete, but I'm there.
I'm there.
I'm
yeah.
there.
That's how
So-
he was.
So he gets so excited at 2.3. I have a feeling you believe he's worth more.
Way more. He has 11 interceptions in 2 years.
Does he listen to you this time? It's a
No.
year. You got to be bugging him for a year.
That's
No,
fair.
he doesn't listen to me
so,
again.
So you say to him, no. Say no to the 2.3.
Let's go somewhere else.
And he says,
I'm afraid that no one will sign me.
so he takes another 1.
1 year deal.
And why does he have this insecurity that he won't be wanted?
Because he's never been wanted by this league. He's literally had people have had to be injured just for him to get a shot.
When you think about it, he's never been wanted even down to college.
Yes.
Probably really talented in high
Yes.
school.
Yes.
Freak athlete.
Yes.
All the way passed over by D1s.
Yep.
So it's on and on in his career. He's been looked over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that fear in him, which is, I could get looked over again.
And he's like, I need to take care of my family. I need to make it right. He basically wanted to make sure that he didn't do a bad thing by making me quit everything I was doing.
He feels responsible to you guys.
Yes.
And that's probably the reason why he doesn't pass over you, because he's like, I know what it feels like to be passed over. Do you know what I mean? I'm holding this person down who's held me down. Nobody has
Yeah.
held me down.
2.3 right there. Uncertainty over here.
Yeah.
You're in this league. You got 50 guys on the team. Every other day, there's a guy who's getting kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
Every other day, you're seeing a buddy of yours who you've
Lose their
seen
job.
naked in a shower
Lose their job.
lose their fucking job.
Yeah.
You got a kid. You're
Yep.
just starting to make money. Everything's starting to get comfy, but it can be gone in a
That quick.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
2.3 million.
Guaranteed. 100%.
That's a deep breath, right?
Yeah.
That's a deep breath. You got your wife yapping. You're worth more.
You went to the Pro Bowl.
But she
to
was
the
right
Pro
the
Bowl.
first time.
She was right, but I empathize.
I empathize.
It ain't my money, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's easy. You believe he knows he can do it, but there's a little insecurity, and here's safety. 1 year deal, signs it, comes back next year.
Gets injured. This isn't the Achilles. This is a knee thing.
Ooh.
So he plays the whole season injured. They won't let him get the scope, get his surgery because they need him. They need him to play. So he's playing injured. I am pissed the fuck off. The money's guaranteed, and I'm saying don't play. And he's like, I have to. If I don't play, I'm afraid they're going to cut me. No one's going to sign me next year, and blah, blah, blah. He plays injured, 1 interception that year, and ends up having to get the surgery. It's so bad.
Okay, so he plays on an injured knee. You said they won't let him get the scope.
Surgery at first, yeah, until it got to the point where he couldn't walk.
Now, this is a meniscus or something like
Yes.
that? Torn meniscus.
Torn meniscus. Fuck.
Now, which is something that you can somewhat play on, but
Cornerback,
being a corner
being athletic.
specifically.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about a meniscus, right, is that in any kind of knee stuff, is if you just want to run straight,
It's fine.
you're good. If you run a 100-meter dash, you can have no meniscus,
Yeah,
and you be
still
able to
be
be
fine.
the second it's cutlet,
Done.
That's why it's
And
such a
that's-
killer in basketball.
it
Yes.
destroys.
Yeah.
And their guys can come back from meniscus, ACL. Even now you can come, but still,
Yeah.
it is crippling, especially for that position, right? The
And-
team, though, this is what intrigues me. You said the team says they won't look at it,
No, they wanted to keep playing.
and it's because he is guaranteed. If he wasn't guaranteed, how quickly do you think they would have looked at his knee and then shipped him off to the graveyard?
Shipped them off for sure.
In a
Because the money's
second.
guaranteed and they get their money out of him. I told his agent the same thing. I told his agent to go talk to them. Agent wouldn't talk to him. I drafted a letter and fired his agent. And I said, sign this letter, Brent. I'm firing your agent. And he's like, what are we going to do as an agency? I said, I'm going to get you another agent. Trust me. I've trusted you. Trust me to get you another agent. He is not doing what's best for you.
Football wife of the century. I'm telling you, this is what I tell everybody about. It is a job to be an athlete's wife, especially in a sport like football, where these contracts a lot of times are not guaranteed.
And I'm telling you, as a fan, I get fucked up about this because I want players to get paid, but then I root for a team. I'm like, oh, first round tender, we'll save a little money.
Yeah.
And
But
we
I
go
know
get
how
somebody
fucked it
else.
is. But I'm like, oh, they'll win. Get the first round tender, not a second round tender. It's extra $200,000. Nobody's gonna take him. But on the other side of it, there's a Brent Grimes I'm fucked now.
Yeah.
Like you have fucked me.
Yeah,
I'm getting
because you
$3
have
million.
empathy, but you also
Cowboys did it to a tackle this year, David Irving. Now
Right.
he ended up getting in some shit. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but like I was like, put the first round tender on him. It's only $400,000 more or whatever, and then nobody's gonna take him.
Yeah.
and then
he
he's
has
there.
to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
So and that's fine. And I don't think you're a bad person. You can.
I mean,
be-
no, it's just
Yeah,
it's a
just
tricky
how
part
you
of being
are,
a
yeah.
fan. It's like
It's why it's easier to not know too much about a player's
Yeah.
life.
yeah.
It's easier for them,
So
like
can
you said.
you can say whatever you want. You don't have any guilt behind it. You don't feel
You are
anything.
statistics.
I don't want to
If
know.
you're statistics to me,
Yeah.
I don't have
give
to
a
feel bad if
fuck,
you're injured.
yeah.
I don't have to feel bad anything. The second I see on Instagram you and your baby,
Then it's like, oh fuck.
like Jalen Ramsey this week, and we'll get to that later. But Jalen Ramsey this week, he said something really beautiful. He said,
Yep.
"You know what? I don't have bad days. I have hard days. Every day that I'm blessed to be here is a good day. I get to go home, see my daughter, and she makes everything." And before that, Jalen, I'm looking at Jalen like, all right, you're a loudmouth guy, and you're really entertaining and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But now that you're losing, you're not saying anything. And the second he said that, I'm like, oh, I like
he's
him
a
now.
dad.
Fuck.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's a regular guy. He's a dad.
So
yeah.
you're seeing this other part of an athlete. Okay. So now
Fire the agent.
you finally get him to fire the agent.
Yes.
And he
finally
probably
agrees
feels a
with me.
little more comfortable because you guys are sitting on 2.3.
Yes.
Okay. Being smart with the
Also,
money.
you've been right twice.
Twice, yes. So
Third
he
time's,
says,
you know,
he
yeah.
says, who are you going to get? And I said, CAA. He goes, they will never fucking sign this. LeBron's agency.
Of course. Biggest
That's
agency
Tom
in the world.
Cruise.
Yes.
Yes. So
The Rock is on that. Everybody.
Their
else.
headquarters in St. Louis, where my family happens to be. I draft up this big PowerPoint presentation. I've got all this documentation on why Brent Grimes is the best corner in the league and why he's going to be this and the third. And I need you guys to sign him. I fly to St. Louis. I call I'm just going balls. I'm just fuck it. I'm gonna call up there.
what the fuck
I'm
is
gonna
up?
get a meeting. I call. I'm already in St. Louis. I call and I'm like, yes, I would like to speak to Ben Dogra. You know, like, who's this? Miko Grimes. What is the nature of your call? I would like to pitch him, my husband, as an agent, as a contract, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, well, let me see if we can get him on the phone. You hold on, or whatever. And then come back like, yo, we'll have him call you back. He's busy, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck, he's never gonna call back. He called me back like an hour later. And I was like, hey, I wanted to come in. I flew to St. Louis. I wanted to give a presentation. Brent does not have representation right now. I fired his agent. But I think that he belongs in CAA. I think he's going to be amazing. I think that you guys are going to make money off him as well. And they were like, we don't need your presentation. Yes, we'll sign him. They were like, we already
wife of the century.
They said we know who he.
Miko.
They said
Let's
we
go.
know who he is. We know that. He said, but they're not allowed to reach out to him. He has to fire his agents and then reach them because it's like a rule where you can't poach people's clients.
Usually you can poach with agencies. You can't poach with management.
And on our side, and
on
actors.
your
I
side,
don't know about
I
athletes.
think with sports as well.
No, it's
Really?
yes, you cannot poach.
Interesting.
And so they were like, now that you fired him and you've actually reached out to us, now we can talk to him.
Okay.
They flew to Atlanta, took us out to dinner, and presented to us why CAA was the agency for him.
Now, this is Brent's first time
Being
where he is courted. This is the first time where he is feeling wanted.
You know who else didn't
What
want
is
him?
his
Miko.
reaction to? We're gonna get to that. What is his reaction to? What is his reaction to positive reinforcement? Something he's probably not used to.
It was like a dream, I imagine. He just couldn't believe that CAA, like, this is a big deal. He's like, if they think that I'm worth signing, that means I should have gone somewhere else a long time ago. I should have done something else. I should have reached out there. You know, it kind of gives him confidence in himself to know that even though you're doing all this work and it's going unrecognized, there are people that are watching and they know. And CAA wouldn't sign you if they didn't think they can make some money off of you. So the minute he signs with CAA, guess what the Falcons do? They give him, they franchise tag him.
Son of a bitch.
You know how much a franchise tag was that year?
9.
$10.6 million guaranteed.
Yep, that's all right.
Okay, that's all right. But at the same time, you might
You don't
be
want
looking.
that.
You don't want you.
That's
you
so, help me
real
with
quick.
this.
You want to be getting 3 years, $30 million,
Easily, yes.
right? So they franchise him. 10.6. 10.6 is a bittersweet thing, right? Because again,
We were begging for a long-term deal. They wouldn't even negotiate with us.
Fair,
They
and-
wouldn't even talk.
and that's fair. But like, it's bittersweet because one, you're like, we're worth 30, but two, you're like, hey, we have $10.6 million guaranteed. That's
yes,
pretty.
that's pretty awesome.
And we have time to recover from the injury.
Yeah. No, he isn't injured yet.
No, this is, you said the knee. He hurt his
No,
knee that
that
year.
was fine. He's over that. That was fine.
I thought you said he got scoped after that.
Yeah, he got scoped, and it was at the end of the season.
And so he had recovered by the time the next
Yes.
season. Okay. Comes back. Now he has
10.6,
Okay.
signed the deal, ruptured Achilles week 1. That's the best thing that can happen to you on a franchise tag
now.
or tender anything is to get injured the first week because you have the whole season to recover. And then in the off season, you can prove in March when deals are being made that you're ready to go. You injure your shit in November, December, you're fucked.
How old is he when he tore his Achilles?
This was 2012, so he was 29, I think.
Okay. Tears the Achilles. Do you think, in a way, this is karma for the Atlanta Falcons?
I absolutely 100% believe that. I said, got him. I was at the game.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Kansas City.
Did you know that it was busted the second it happened?
Yes.
Again, you have the degree
yes.
in sports science.
When I saw the play, it happened. I almost got arrested then too. I jumped the fence
Cops
behind.
choked you out again unnecessarily
No,
again?
because you know,
Wasn't your fault
and this
again?
is something I just changed with the Bucks, where if a player gets injured and you're at the game, you should their wife should be able to reach them, should be able to talk to them. They don't have a phone on them, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I jumped the fence behind the buses in the Chiefs, where the visiting buses are. I scaled the fence and jumped it because I'm trying to get in the locker room. They see me on the cameras and they come to get me, and I'm pleading with them and telling them that I'm a player's wife. He just got hurt, and I know he needs me. I need him, blah, blah. So one of the guys
You're not even upset. You're like, we just got a free 10.6
No,
million.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about him, like his face.
Of course, I'm fucking with
You know, he's my baby.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, his face was so sad.
And Achilles is,
Yeah,
they
it's
say
bad.
that's one you
Yeah.
don't come back from.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, like, he's going to be miserable because this could end his career.
Right.
And he's probably thinking like that. And I'm just like, I need to just go talk to him. And one of the security guys actually recognized me.
Right.
Just from social media, from talking so much shit and stuff.
Right.
He goes, oh, that is his wife. That's the loudmouth one, Miko Grimes.
Right.
So they radio into the locker room and they say, oh, yeah, that's her. And they let me come to him and talk to him. And I said, did you hear a gunshot? And he said, I did. And I said, it's your Achilles. And he just started crying. He was just like, oh, my God. I was like, it's okay. I said, if anybody could come back from this, it's you.
Now, right now, 2018, you tear your Achilles. Nobody comes back from that.
No, they usually don't.
This is 2018 right now, what I'm saying. In 2018, if you tear your ACL, you're back in a year, and you're as good as you were before you tore your ACL.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, that knee surgery that took Jason Kidd out, where it's something about like the cap was you can come back from that now.
Mm-hmm.
But that fucking Achilles.
It's the killer.
Look at
It's the career
Richard
killer.
Sherman.
Yeah, nothing.
The guy can barely run.
Nothing. He's a shell
He's
of himself.
a shell of himself.
Des Bryant, who
Des
follows
Bryant.
me on Twitter. We need to get you on the podcast, Des.
Des
Shell of himself.
is going to be, unfortunately, and I hope it isn't, but it's probably going to be. I mean, Kobe, and you know Kobe went through every German
Anything
blood
you could
transfusion that you possibly could, probably had the roids, everything that he could, human growth hormone, to come back, shell of himself
Yep.
after that Achilles surgery. Brent, for some fucking reason.
I got to take credit for that.
Oh, no,
too.
I know. This
No,
is
we
why
got
it's
it.
good. This is why it's good. So Brent tears his Achilles. Mind you, this is how many years ago? 10?
6 years ago.
This is 6 years ago, right? So the surgery's even shittier.
Yes.
Tears his Achilles. He ends up coming back from the Achilles because you lied to him.
I lied to him. Yes.
You lied to your husband in cahoots with the doctor
Yes.
to
To
save
leave
his
cast
career.
on longer.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell people how this happened.
So I know about obviously Achilles injuries and what it takes to
And
recover
you know
from
that
them.
because this is what you
Exercise
studied
science,
in
yes.
school.
And so I asked the doctor if we could leave the cast on for 2 extra weeks.
But
We're
you
not
said,
going to
do
tell
not
Brent.
tell Brent. You said, do not tell Brent. Now, the doctor has an obligation to not only the player, but the team.
Yes.
How
No,
did
no. We did not. They tried to get him to have the surgery with the team. I refused. We went to the Carolina Panthers doctor.
And why did you
him?
choose to
He's
do that?
better than the Falcon doctor.
How'd you know that?
From trials of asking around the players and stuff.
You the baddest.
Yeah.
You
And
the
I heard
fucking
that
best.
he was the
All
best.
of you athletes that are listening to this right now and thinking my wife ain't shit, you right. All of you are right. Your wife ain't shit. She
I had
spends
to
your money
drive him
on
to
jewelry.
Carolina
Okay,
every
she
2
buys
weeks.
expensive clothes,
'Cause he couldn't
buys
fly.
these bags, and she don't do shit. She not getting you contracts. She not fixing your fucking Achilles tendon. She not doing none of this shit. You find out talking to all these people
that the Carolina Panthers have the best Achilles doctor in the United States.
in the United States.
And he can't fly. That's what the Falcons were like, no, you need to do it locally. He cannot fly.
You drive
I
him.
drove him to every single appointment back. We did it 4 times.
Okay, you're driving him to the Achilles doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Now Brent has realized that it's in his best interest to trust you.
Well, he found out that I lied about the
No,
cast.
but we're not going to
yeah.
get there yet. We're not
Oh,
going to
okay.
get there
Real
yet.
quick,
Yeah.
why couldn't he fly?
You don't want to fly
It's
with
the
an injury like
swelling,
that because
yeah.
of the swelling,
Ah,
right?
okay.
So, a very good, very reasonable, good question, by the way. But okay, so now earlier in Brent's career, he has not trusted you,
Correct.
and every time he doesn't trust you, things go wrong.
Correct.
It seems like there's a shift in Brent
maybe it was the CAA thing, but something happened where he starts to go, this girl knows what the fuck is going on. She has my best interests at heart. Let me put my faith in her.
Right.
Because you see this later in his career as your star begins to shine and there's more attention on you. And the conversation always goes back to Brent, like, why do you put up with this?
Yeah.
And people are like, they don't realize why he puts up with it.
Yeah.
You have to get to the beginning of the story to understand why.
Yes.
So now Brent is, whatever Miko says, I'm with it.
I'm rolling. Yeah.
North Carolina, driving, surgery's done. You speak to the doctor, private conversation.
Private, yes. While he's unconscious.
While he's unconscious. What do you say to him?
I said that I think that Brent is a child, and the minute you take that cast off, I know you're going to be in a boot, and there's going to be a certain amount of time that he's supposed to spend in the boot. He will not.
The second he's out the cast, you know he's back in the
He's
game.
gone. He's going to be jumping over shit. He's going to be trying. He's going to be picking at the scab. He's going to be doing all types of shit, and it's not going to heal properly. I say leave him in 2 extra weeks. He doesn't have to know. And I think that's best. It doesn't hurt you to be in it 2 extra weeks.
Right.
Can't hurt you at all.
Right.
You know, and he said, well, okay, as long as, you know, because I'm the person that has to sign off on everything. I'm his person,
Right,
you know.
right.
And so, and we do it. And then when we go to get the cast cut off, there's another doctor that cuts the cast off. A whole nother person that cuts it off. It's a female. And she's cutting the cast off, and she's looking at the paperwork. She goes, damn, I wonder why they kept you in your cast for so long. And he was like, no, that was a standard amount of time. She goes, no, you were in 2 extra weeks. And I'm like, bitch.
Snitching it. Fat white girl, huh?
No, she was actually a cute little white. She was white, but she was cute little thin white girl.
White women, that's the problem.
Go on.
And so, and he goes, and now he wants to investigate.
Okay.
He wants to call the doctor. He wants to see what the fuck's going on. So I confess. I'm like, okay, before you start becoming private detective and shit, I asked him to leave it on 2 weeks. He's like, why did you do that? And I said, Brent, you're a child. Like, you're childish. You would have gotten out. Oh, he goes, how do you know that? I go, because I know you. And it will allow your thing to reconnect faster. Sometimes in those surgeries, if they give you the proper amount of time, it didn't gel right. Sometimes they don't go right, and they tear it again the next year.
Right.
Or it's still injured, it's still hurting or whatever, so they overcompensate and they tear the other one.
Ah,
You know, and
that
so
often happens. Yes, yes.
often. And
You're
so-
afraid to put pressure on whatever
Yes.
knee or leg or ankle,
Because
whatever it
you
is.
still feel a little
Yes.
resistance
Yep.
and tension. And I said, I wanted it to be completely sealed and healed and properly connected. And I just wanted to give you the best shot at recovery.
So he gets back to start the recovery.
Yes. And immediately he's out of the boot. He ain't using the goddamn
Exactly
boot.
what you said.
Exactly what I said.
And did you look at him like, this why?
Yes. And he laughed and he was like, you're right. And I was like, that's why I did this. So you could be, now if you come out of the boot a little earlier, you're healed even better.
How the fuck does he get back from the torn Achilles?
I think it's genetics, 100%. I
So
think a
he
lot
just
of it is
has
genetics.
freak. I hope people will Google Brent, because when you look at him, even when I met him, he is not an imposing guy.
No.
He's not imposing at all. Hands, though.
Yeah.
Big hands.
Strong, big hands.
Big
Yeah.
hands. But he's not an imposing dude. But if you watch some of like his workouts and shit that you post,
Oh my God.
there'll be like little things that he does. For example, like squats. Acid of grass every time.
Yes, every single time.
And then there's another thing that I saw him do that you guys are posting. It's this dumbbell workout.
Bulgarian, Turkish get-ups.
Turkish get-up. So it's not a dumbbell. It's
a kettlebell.
Kettlebell. And you have to like keep the kettlebell raised
Straight.
above your
arm
body.
has to be straight the whole time.
You have to
Above.
go all the way down to the ground.
Laying down.
Lay down and then
Get
get all
back
the way
up
back up.
with it
Oh,
up,
I used to do that shit.
Yo.
Yeah.
And that
Turkish
shit is
get-ups.
all core.
all core.
And you start to see where, if you're playing corner especially, that change of direction, that control of body is all here,
Yep.
right? It's
Yep.
how do I go right to left on a fucking dime?
While someone's going
Boom,
backwards.
boom, boom. Okay. Is there any point in time during the recovery where he's going to you, I don't think I'm going to be the guy I was?
The whole time. He was depressed. He didn't eat. He wouldn't shower. He wouldn't leave the basement.
Really?
I was supposed to help him take a bath.
Did you stop giving him head?
I didn't touch him. He yelled at me. He wasn't very nice to me.
Yeah.
That was probably the meanest person I've ever seen him be in my life.
Really?
He was very depressed. And I've never been injured my entire career, not thank God.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to say to him. He
You
couldn't
didn't get any
walk.
broadcasting injuries?
Basketball, bitch ass. But I didn't know what to say to him, so I decided to. I have a bunch of people that I know, friends I know, and one of the only people I've ever seen recover from an Achilles and be the shit is fucking shit. Atlanta Hawks, Dominique Wilkins.
Did Dominique?
I did not know.
He won a dunk contest after his ruptured Achilles.
Freak athlete.
Freak athlete. So I called some of the Hawks players that I knew because he was the broadcaster at the time. He called the games. I called some of the players and I said, hey, because I courtside seats also. Brennan bought me courtside seats. So I see him a lot. Right. I sit next to his, at the time, girlfriend. And so I called up some of the players and I said, hey, could you guys get me Dominique's number? I really need him to call Brent and motivate him and talk to him.
Wait, real quick. Dominique Wilkins' girlfriend, what's she look like?
Pretty. Blondish, mixed biracial, but blonde mixed. Her real hair. She's pretty tall. I'll close her. Yeah. I'll close her. She's pretty. Older, she was in her 40s. She's beautiful.
Right.
And so I asked the guys, could I get, they're like, can't guarantee it. We'll ask him though. Mm-hmm. He called me the same day.
People call you back.
Yeah. He called me and I saw, I didn't know who it was.
still hasn't messaged Akaash.
Yeah, Des Bryant still ain't messaging me
left
back.
him on red.
Des has been begging
Talk to
Brent
Des
to work
for me.
out with him. Every year he begs Brent to train with him.
I bet.
Well, you gonna ignore him now that he ruptured his Achilles?
I'm not. It's Brent's ignoring him. I don't got his. That has nothing to do with me.
Miko?
Brent ignores him.
So go.
So I call. Dion calls me.
No, Dominique.
Dominique calls me.
you back.
And I'm like, oh my God, hi, it's Miko. He goes, I know who you are. I know who Brent is. And he's like, they're telling me that he's going through some things mentally and you need me to talk to him. And I was like, yes. And I was like, now I don't know how he's gonna receive this because he's just not a people person like that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he's going to react. I said, but you're my last hope at getting him off this couch and getting in a shower and like just being positive about his life.
The best.
And so he's in the basement down there watching something. I don't know. And I just handed him the phone. He goes, who is it? I don't want to talk to anyone. And I was like, could you just take this phone call, please? And he's like, hello? And I'm just in the corner looking. He goes, who is this? He was like, what? Hi, why'd you call me? And he was like, I couldn't hear it, but Brent just sits up and he's just listening and he's like giving yes and no and just talking. And he's like, just basically saying like, hey, you could do it. I did it too. It happened to me. I came back. He was like, don't be down on yourself. However you feel, that's what's going to happen to you. If you think you're not going to come back, you're not. You need to start saying, this is just a small setback. Like, I'm going to come back from this. I'm going to prove to people that I'm great and all this stuff. And that day, he took the trash out on crutches.
And that was his first act of like resiliency.
Yeah.
It's like, I can handle my life. I can take out the fucking trash. I'm a man. I can do these things.
Yeah. And I was so scared. I didn't want him to do it. I was nervous because, he was in a cast, crutches. And I was like, Brent, you don't have to do something today. I just wanted you to.
Nah, we out. Let's
go. He's like, no, I'm getting off this couch. I'm doing this. He let me give him a bath, like help him in the bath.
Yeah.
Because that's just as a man, you don't like that somebody.
You head in the shower?
No, I didn't do any of that. No, I didn't.
The only reason I asked is because
you
are very vocal about how important head is.
It's crucial.
Yeah, crucial.
Yeah.
Weekly.
I try.
Yeah, you try. Yeah.
And so that motivated him. That motivated him to get up and be positive and start thinking about after this injury, this is what I'm going to do after. And that was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it took him, somebody else, to say, it happened to me. Let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you how I recovered. All this stuff that I did.
Now, have you told Brent that it wasn't really Dominique Wilkins? It was just some black dude?
No, he saw him. I saw him.
What if you faked it?
Yeah, he saw him.
Just doper. Hey, Ray, do me a favor. Call up and just pretend to be Dominique real
It's just
quick.
another black dude named Dominique.
Right.
Dominique Johnson.
It was really him.
So what you want me to say? Yeah, he could do it? All right, yeah, you can do it, bro. Take out the trash.
Yeah, it was him. It really was him. And he did it. And it was like... And then after that, he just started saying all the things he was going to do. When I'm going to get my squat, I'm going to squat more. I'm going to do this more. I'm going to be able to, he was just positive about everything. And I was like, okay, yes.
So he got it. When does he back? A year later?
No, 6 months.
This is a year injury.
Yes.
Minimum.
Yes. His injury was September 7th, I believe. September 7th, 2012. By March, he was dunking. By March, he was jumping on those 5-inch blocks with one leg, no running, nothing, just one leg, jumping on the bad
5 foot
leg.
or 5 inch?
5. No, not 5. 42. There's a 42 and a 48.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, one leg, jumping.
40, that's 4 feet.
Yeah, 4 feet.
Yeah, 4 feet. Yeah, he was doing that by 6 months later because the Falcons were pissed off. So then he's thinking to himself, well, I rehabbed with them, with the Falcons. They've watched me rehab. They've seen everything I'm doing. I'm way ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to sign me back is what he's saying. I go, why do you even want to be here anymore?
We out.
You had a 1-year deal for 7 years.
We out.
1-year deal. Let's go. And he really wanted to stay. And the Falcons did press. People were asking him what they thought of Brent, and they go, he's never going to be the same.
Now.
That's why we're not signing him.
Now.
I'm pissed.
This is where we get into the tricky shit, the mafia that are these negotiations and they are these organizations. They are souring the market
so he can
on
come
Brent
back.
so that he can come back
for pennies.
For pennies because they know how much he's recovered.
Yes. They tried to fuck him over. Yes.
Hey, he's trash. I wouldn't sign him if I were you.
He's going to be
It's
30.
Over.
He's 30 years old. It's Achilles.
Who comes back from an Achilles at 30?
He's already short. All he was athleticism.
Now we don't have
Now
athleticism.
he has none of that. Now he's just some short white guy.
Yeah, that's right.
what they
Now he's
told
white.
people.
Before he was this athletic black dude. Now he get the
Now he's
ACL.
white.
It's like, yeah,
and
it's
he
Brent.
was so offended. I was showing him the newspaper clippings and everything and the
Calling me
articles.
white? How dare you?
He was so offended.
How fucking dare you?
Yeah. So then all these other teams.
Have you seen my wife? Ain't nothing white about me, except that she gives head.
Right. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So now he has to do a 1-year prove-it deal with all these other teams.
So this is common, though, right? This is
Yes,
common. We
very
see
common.
this in the NFL a lot.
Yes.
When a team wants to re-sign a player coming off of injury,
Fuck him over.
they fuck him over.
Even if it's not injury, they find something. Hey, he slapped his girlfriend 2 years ago. Hey, he fondled an Uber driver 2 years ago.
Is that what happened with Jameis?
Allegedly.
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 What are you saying about that? What do you mean?
I don't know that that's true. I have information from people that's saying that it's not true.
Now, what about, is Jameis in a contract year this year?
This is it.
Is it a coincidence that the team is going, this Fitzpatrick guy is really balling, huh?
Well, I think that a lot of it has to do with leverage as far as like what, even if they're going to keep him, they probably want to offer him something less because of all the shit that's been going on.
And so what they'll do is, hypothetically or allegedly, put these stories out there into the world.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, it is a little coincidental.
Yes, remember from the Dolphins, who's now a Brown.
Landry, Jarvis.
Jarvis Landry.
They put out the video of him pushing his girl in the car right when all the stuff was going on with him, the contracts and all that stuff.
So right when contracts, so you're saying a lot of times these organizations will get these videos of players doing
and sit on them.
nefarious acts and sit on them until contract time.
Yes.
And then pretend to be the moral authority. They'll come out with, how could we re-sign such a player?
Yes.
Motherfucker, you knew about this for
You
2
knew about it
years.
and you covered it up. Just like the same thing with a lot of, when they do the steroid test or whatever, they do that. That's a random test.
But it randomly happens right when another team got to
fail
sign you.
all the time, and they overlook it. Even with
Oh, my
weed,
God.
they fail, and they will overlook it if they need them to play that year. And then when they don't, they tell.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they're souring the market for Brent, like they're souring the market for Jameis right now. You can see it. Like they were souring the market
Now,
for
do you think
Odell.
Jameis is good?
Yeah, I think he's a good player.
Okay.
I have opinions on certain things, obviously, but out of respect for Brent's team, I don't really discuss
That's fair.
details.
We won't.
But
force
overall-
it.
Because it puts him in a situation in the locker room.
We won't.
Overall, you
force
think
it.
he's
Yeah.
good.
Overall, I think Jameis is a very talented.
Now you haven't always been that way.
Who, me?
Yeah, because when we get to the Dolphins, we'll
Oh yeah.
now. But we saw this with Odell Beckham Jr. Right when Odell was about to be in the contract year.
Yeah.
All
They
of a
start
sudden,
bringing up all the
why you with girls who snort coke?
yeah.
He wasn't even doing the coke.
coke.
Like that's how little there was at Odell.
Yeah.
He's in the bed while these coke whores are
Probably
blowing
just
lines.
got
Yeah.
some head and eating some chicken wings.
He
and
probably
shit.
he's like, why the fuck are you guys here? I just want to dance. You know what I mean? Like,
I was looking for the dudes.
yeah, where the guys at? Yo, I bet they put that rumor out.
Yeah.
This dude's probably smashing every shorty. I mean, I've had girls, I'm not going to put their names out. I've had girls tell me, trust me, homeboy's straight. But now, I don't know.
There's rumors on both sides.
I'm sure there's rumors on both sides.
No one knows the truth unless your dick went in them.
Exactly. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying is I would not put it past an organization to, in a contract year, to be like, yo, this dude might be gay. And you know how people in the locker room feel about a gay dude?
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him. But they didn't. I think that would be worse for them. The gay part. They put out the coke and all that stuff, but you heard something about him being gay?
There's
come
always
Yes,
rumors.
yeah, it's
out? Oh, I
mad
thought that
rumors.
was happening since college.
Maybe. I don't know. I
Maybe.
started hearing rumors.
I heard it since college.
I heard of him in college, but I didn't know how good he was until the Giants.
I thought it's just like motherfuckers jealous of a dude that's good looking and he gets pussy. Because you see people do that all the time. Yeah.
There's other stuff, but
What you mean?
He
I mean, there's
dances
just rumors
really
about
well.
just him being with guys. There's guys that say that they've been with him and
Really?
stuff like that.
Who said that?
Just random. I have a lot of friends that are hoes, right? You know that.
Yeah.
Just
you come from
hoes.
a long line of hoes.
Yes.
Remember you said that on Brilliant Idiots?
Yes, and
Yo,
my
one of the
family
first
fucking
things-
hated me.
What'd you say? One of the first things when you did Brilliant Idiots, great Brilliant Idiots episode, we were talking about hoes, and you were like, well, I come from a long line of hoes.
That wasn't how it started.
You said some shit.
It was more
It's
about
like,
us
I
saying
come
how
from
the
a
older
long line of
generation
horse trainers, but you're like, no, hoes. That's what we come from.
the older generation shitting on us and what we do and how we're half naked on
And you're
social
like, y'all
media.
hoes back
I'm
in
like,
the
y'all
day.
was hoes. All of my cousins have different dads. Like, get out of here. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
You're good.
Yeah. So they were mad at me about that, but it's true.
So some of these hoes that you know were saying that
They tell me
Odell-
about a lot of players that
are
they've
sweet.
had like threesomes with a guy type of things and you know stuff like that. And
So-
it's not a train if you guys are
if the dudes are doing shit.
yes.
So Odell was involved in one of those?
I don't know that to be true, but these are things that I've heard.
I'm
heard
trying to get the scoop from you. You know what I mean? I'm trying to hear
I've
that
heard
shit.
a lot of things, but I
Really?
wasn't there.
You weren't there, but you've heard from somebody, let's say allegedly, that Odell was involved in a threesome with another dude.
I did hear that. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And him and the other dude were doing some things.
Yes.
Wow.
And I
Does
think
he
it's sad.
bleach his pubic hair?
Oh my God! How the fuck would I know that? I think it's sad. You know, you believe it or not, there's a lot of gay NFL players. A lot.
Really?
They are afraid to come out.
But they're so big.
What do you mean big? All NFL players aren't big.
So the little ones are gay.
No, I just said all of them aren't big
Which position is the gayest?
in the NFL.
Got to be the
There-
center.
I don't know that there's a position. I just think that there's just a lot of gay guys.
I mean, what about long snapper? I mean, those positions where you're basically a bottom. There's got to be like you
Think
basically
about it. There's gay people in every aspect of our lives. There's gay doctors, gay teachers, gay scientists, gay dentists. Why wouldn't there be gay NFL players?
I'm not saying they're not. You just said there's a lot. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
find which position. I mean, I would imagine it would be a tackling one.
I know gay corners. I know gay receivers. I know gay offensive linemen. I know gay defensive linemen.
How many Pro Bowl gay players do you know?
Pro Bowl.
Like good. Like,
Hold on, let's
all-
get back to this real quick. You said you know personally
I do.
gay players.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
And you say you know gay corners,
I do.
but they're too afraid to come out.
Yes.
Right. But they enjoy just like a nice tackle. Like, what is it? Do you think that?
No, they're
it's
doing
not a
their
physical
job.
position.
Right?
They're doing no. It's like come
is
on.
there ever a time where like there's a pylon and they like just jump on for fun? You know.
I've seen guys touching. I've seen like some instances where people have told me like, "Yo, this dude fucking touched my dick in a pile."
We've seen that.
And yes, this has happened a lot.
But that's been happening for years, not on some gay shit, on some like, yo, if
Fuck
you get
you.
into the pile, it's gonna
Yeah.
fuck you. And
No,
now
it's
we got
not
cameras
always
everywhere.
A fuck you. It's sometimes it's a gay thing.
Sometimes it's
yes.
I want to fuck you.
No, it's just I want to touch.
Right.
I want to see. I want to
It's
feel.
me too.
Okay, so gay corners in the league, gay linemen,
Yes, offense and defensive linemen. Yes.
offensive. You're protecting your quarterback. You're not gonna touch my quarterback.
Oh my
That's
God.
my quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you had to choose a position that would be the gayest,
Not tight end.
Receiver.
what
Receiver?
receiver?
Wide receiver.
That makes sense.
Wide
Receiver.
receiver.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Wide receiver. Tight end is the straightest.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
tight.
Oh, yeah,
If
that's
there was a-
Gronk,
if
man.
there
That's
was a-
Gronk.
I know. If there was a position called loose end,
Loose booty end.
that's essentially what wide receiver
I
is.
would think wide receiver. Those are the most flamboyant, loud, look at me. A lot of gay people,
Yes.
and even the more masculine ones, are
Yes.
very like attention, center of attention. Look at
Blonde
me.
hair.
Come, you know,
Blonde hair,
Number 13.
dancing,
divas.
diva, upset about stuff.
Like
You know?
tantrums in the game.
I want the
Tantrums.
ball.
Yeah, like give it to
Give
me
me
more.
the
I'm not
balls.
getting enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do like a whole interview with Lil Wayne for no reason. Yeah, there's like
Oh my
so
God.
gay. Like,
Love numbers that are unlucky
You're
for most.
silly.
13,
And you know what's
for
crazy about
example.
the whole Odell thing?
Yes.
Like, I literally only heard this from one person.
right. Akaash
know what I
missed
mean?
it.
When I said that, I know somebody that's told me he's done something.
Yeah, I heard
but
that.
I
Oh, yeah,
actually
yeah.
know gay people. Like it's like I don't know that he's gay.
Miko,
This is only something I've heard, but
You
I
lived in
know they're
Atlanta.
gay people.
We know you know gay people.
No, she's
No,
saying
gay
players.
NFL players.
I'm saying
NFL
good,
players.
but no, I'm
Yeah.
asking
Out of the
good.
closet.
No,
I'm-
not
no,
a
they're
single
in
one of
the
them
closet.
is out of the closet.
Hey, is anybody elite? Is anybody
That's
really
what I'm
good?
saying.
yes.
Good.
So you're saying, not like let's say Michael Sam, where it was like he was gay, so it was a story, but he wasn't, let's say, skilled enough to play in the
Right.
league and be gay. You're telling me there's an elite NFL
Quite
player.
a few.
Quite a few that are elite. Now that would be what a great example for the gay community to kind of like rally around. Like,
Yeah,
here's
you
this
would
guy.
think.
Yeah.
But no one wants to come out because you don't know what happens after you come out. It's a fear.
Yeah.
You don't know how the league's going to receive you. You don't know how the guys in the locker room are going to receive you.
But
you know,
when-
they're naked a lot in that locker room. And then if someone knows you're gay, there's a lot of homophobic guys in
Right.
the NFL.
Right.
You know, that behind closed doors say a lot of fuck gay, I fuck that gay ass motherfucker. If he ever look at me, I hate gay people, but they won't say that out loud because, you know, then you get in trouble.
Right.
But a lot of guys feel that way. They really are homophobic.
Right. And okay, that's good. Interesting. So there's a fear that they could possibly be beat up or like
Ostracized.
in the locker room. And that
Yes.
does happen.
It can.
Once they find out or they think that you might be gay,
Yeah.
they stop fucking with you. Except
Yeah.
if you're Odell.
And there's gay players who are like household names. Like anybody who watches football knows this motherfucker.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And are they tops or bottoms?
A combination.
Offensive.
believe it or not.
Versatile.
Yeah.
Offensive.
They're
Really?
Different. Yeah.
Playing both sides of the field.
No. Some of them are tops. Some of them are bottoms.
Ah.
I'm curious if they try so hard to keep this from other players. How do you know?
Ooh, good
The
question.
hoes.
The hoes be talking.
The hoes be talking, and they will pay for certain services privately, exclusively.
Hold on one second. What kind of services are we talking about?
Pegging.
They want to get pegged.
They don't mind. Like a girl that's for sale will fuck a guy with a guy.
So they like to fuck a
They
guy.
Like and a
with a
girl.
guy.
And with a girl. Yeah, a lot of them do.
And that so there's like a bisexuality
Yes.
thing. Or do they feel like a little less gay because there's
I think
a girl
that
in the room?
some of them, not all of them do this, but some of them do like girls also. They like both. And people say you can't be bisexual if you're a guy. You're either gay or you're not.
Right.
And I don't agree with that, but I understand why people think that.
Antonio Brown.
What about him?
Gay.
That was my thought.
I've never heard it about him. I'm not going to say who I have, but I've
Okay.
actually never heard that about him.
Right. I don't think Antonio. I didn't
No.
think Antonio.
I've
Odell.
When she was describing flamboyant, etc., that
but that's
wide
every
receiver.
wide receiver.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's the
but that's
most
why I
diva,
said
combing
those are
his hair all
the.
the
That's
time.
why if you were to ask me, I would say wide receivers are probably the. If there was like a poll done, I would guess
Right.
wide receiver would have probably the most gay people. Just my opinion.
I
Really?
think Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks?
Ooh, Alex thinks Cam Newton. We got a Cam Newton in the
I
corner.
don't know any gay quarterbacks.
No, I don't think.
I don't know any. I have
Yeah.
never heard any. That doesn't mean there aren't any.
Cam Newton
I just
impregnated
haven't
a
heard of
stripper,
him.
fam. That's a hero.
Oh my God.
I mean,
That screams gay if you ask me, but
Really?
I just feel like if you're gay, right,
Something to prove.
you wouldn't play quarterback just because you'd be worried people would figure it out.
but nobody would know if you don't. How would people know?
You're right up against a dude's.
But everyone has to be up under the dude.
Yeah, but you have that insecurity. They're going to figure you out.
Nah,
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Can't leave my hands here too long.
Yeah,
That's such a that's.
Yo,
I
just
never-
say hike. Like you're just upset.
never
You're like,
really-
fam, why are we here to the
Why
end of
always
the
take the
clock
clock
every
down to
time?
one?
Yo,
I
let's
never-
go.
Just get your hand off
Let's
my
go,
neck.
fam.
Stop saying Omaha so
Hike.
much.
Why you all audible in?
Oh my God. How did this conversation turn gay?
Well, you threw it out there. I thought we were gonna get a scoop. I thought we were gonna get
I
the
don't
shit.
out people.
That's fair. Okay.
I don't like to out people. I don't like to do that. A lot of people have actually confided in me
Yeah,
about being gay, and I will take those secrets to my grave.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
would never want to do that. I have very, very good group of guy friends in the NFL, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I get a lot of the stories that I know. They come to me and tell me stuff, just don't use their name as examples of
Right.
like not just gay stuff, but shit that's happening in the league, like like contractual stuff, team stuff. These guys confide in me and tell me stuff just so that, I can prove that some of this stuff is actually happening. No one's listening, but
I mean, I'm listening.
Yeah.
People listening right now. I think
Yeah.
that's what's so interesting. Like your tenure, or Brent's rather, or I guess both of you at Miami. Miami is next, I imagine, for Brent
Okay.
in this story.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think this is just such an amazing story that you guys have together. Could be a movie, could be made of it.
It will be, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And there definitely will be a book.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
We've
shit.
spoken about that because it would really open up some truth about the league, but also just a fascinating kind of hero story and a love story. But anyway, you guys go to the Dolphins. I imagine you guys get signed to them, or did you do more year with?
We had to do a one-year
One-year
prove-it deal
How much?
because $5.5 million.
But now you're getting real money for
Yes.
even prove it,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So you do 1 year prove it, you make
he
your
goes
money.
to the Pro Bowl.
He
He
goes
has
to Pro Bowl
4
again.
interceptions.
First year back from ACL,
First
6
year.
months removed,
Are you
goes
surprised?
to the
No.
Pro Bowl.
No.
Okay. You know it's going to happen. You're fine. You prove it. Atlanta Falcons fuck themselves once again
They
because
didn't even throw the ball at him when he played against them.
Of course
they,
not.
they didn't try him at all.
Was he
No, I'm
excited for
saying
that
the
game?
Falcons fucked up
Yeah.
Yes.
when they signed him for just another 1 year deal because they
Now
could have given him
3-4 years, and they could have had him back after that.
they could have given him 3-4 years at something light because they're like, fam, you just got your ACL, and
Yeah,
he probably
he
would have
would've
signed.
taken
You
it
would have, but
immediately.
they got greedy. Okay,
Yes.
so then you go get real money with the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
First real money contract in the
Yes.
NFL. 3 years,
No,
4-16?
2 years.
2 years.
$16 million guaranteed, $32 million on the books. You never count the non-guaranteed. You're never going to see it unless you're a quarterback.
But if it's 2 years,
It was
probably
a
see it.
4-year,
a 4-year, $32 million.
40-year, $32 million.
4 year 32,
Yes,
16 guaranteed.
guaranteed.
He plays first year.
First year was a 5.5. Prove it.
That was with the Falcons.
No.
No.
Oh, that was with the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Ah, okay, my bad. So he does prove it 5.5.
Next
kills
year they
it.
sign a 4-year deal, which is essentially a 2-year, $16 million deal.
Right. And for everybody who's listening who's not familiar with how these deals work in the NFL, there's very few guaranteed contracts in the league. And even when you do
There's
hear
only
a
one.
contract,
Kirk Cousins.
There's
Kirk
only
Cousins,
one.
There's only one.
One.
And so what happens a lot of times is players get these deals that you say 4 years, 5 years. Nobody sees more than 2 usually.
Yeah, 3 at the most.
3 tops.
Yeah.
So all that money a lot of times is back-ended and nobody
And they
ever
don't
gets
get
it.
it.
So whatever is guaranteed is what you
What you're
get.
gonna get.
So you essentially got a 2 year 16.
Yeah,
They call it a
correct.
4 year 32 because
make it
everyone
look
wants to
good.
fluff their ego and
Yeah.
want to feel fine. He gets 2 years. First year, after the 5.5.
5 interceptions. Pro Bowl again.
How old are we now?
32.
This old motherfucker. This cornerback game is not for the
Yep.
for the old, man. It is not at all. You should be playing safety by now. Right?
Yeah,
a lot of
he
times
should
there's
be
a transition.
He's a dinosaur at this
Dinosaur
point.
coming
Yeah.
back from ACL.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl again. Right?
9
again,
interceptions in 2 years.
9 interceptions. Again, our premise is over the last 8 years,
Yes.
this is the best cornerback in the league.
Yes.
Right? We've seen elite corners drop the fuck out. Who was
Yes.
the guy that went from he went to play the Eagles and then just totally fell apart?
Namdi?
Namdi, right?
Asamoah.
Yeah, Asamoah.
Yeah.
Bye. Revis had a
Bye.
great run. Bye.
Akeem Talib hit
Akib, great
back.
run. Now we're
Bye.
not hearing about not
Yeah.
shut down no
Yeah,
more.
no more.
Richard Sherman.
Gone.
Bye. None of Richard Sherman had the ACL, but he was already starting to drop
Yeah.
off it. So we're seeing elite corner play in a 4 year, maybe 6 year bracket.
Max. And they're done.
We're still Pro Bowling.
We're still Pro Bowling the
We're
shit
still
out
Pro
of this
Bowling.
in our
okay?
30s.
In our 30s, major recovery from a
Yes.
huge injury. Mm-hmm. You
And
get that
next-
first year, kill it. Second year, kill it.
3rd year, 4 interceptions, another Pro Bowl.
Hold on, we're still on this 4 year deal.
Yes.
You're not supposed to do that.
No. That was the 2nd year.
Yes.
So that was, remember the
Second
first
year of the new
five,
deal.
five.
Sorry.
Then the first year he got $8 million, second year $8 million. Now he's got 2 years left, but there's no guaranteed money in there.
Okay.
So that's when the shit hit the fan.
Ooh, what a coincidence that
What a
the shit hits the
coincidence.
fan once
When
there's
it's
no
time.
guaranteed money.
Yes.
Now you know the game already.
Yes.
So now we start hearing Miko pop off. Now you're in the public eye because you're not dealing with some corner who's doing one-year deals. You're
Yes.
dealing with a corner who's making major money
Yes.
in the NFL. So the spotlight is not only on Brent, but it's on the
me.
people around
And
Brent.
I have a new radio show in Miami covering the Dolphins.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
And guess who hates that? The Miami
owners.
Dolphins. And
Because
guess, ooh,
my
they brought out
numbers-
all the tricks on you.
They tried to get me to come work for them in their office. They want to tell me what to say
they're
on the
gonna keep
radio.
you quiet.
They call Brent in and say, "Hey, can you ask Miko not to say this and not to say that?" And he's like, "I can't control her." He goes, one time he said it was in a meeting. They called him in. He tried to call me on
FaceTime
speaker.
or speaker.
Like, you guys tell her. Let's see. Go ahead. Tell her not to say stuff.
Yeah.
Try to control
Now,
her.
what
they
are you
try to
saying? What
separate-
is the beef?
The quarterback is trash, and he's never going to get them anywhere.
The quarterback at that time was
Ryan Tannehill still is, yes.
Right.
Well, Osweiler is now the quarterback.
Right, but that
But
was
yeah, at the
before
time, yeah.
Ryan's injury, right?
Yes.
Ryan tore his ACL last season.
Yeah,
Right.
some shit, yeah.
Okay, now a lot of people look at this situation and go, "Why the fuck does a corner, especially a
Wife.
corner's wife, care about the quarterback on the team?"
I care about the entire team. My job was to cover only the Miami Dolphins. That was my job on the radio.
So you were
That's
just
your
being
radio.
honest.
I was just being my honest self. I was honest about everybody. They don't care if you shit on anybody else. They don't want you to shit on the quarterback.
Why?
Because that's the moneymaker. That's who sells the tickets. That's who they lie to you about the most. the
Is
quarterback.
Ryan Tannehill a bottom?
Oh my God. I don't think he's gay.
Ah, damn it! I thought we had a scoop. All right.
I think he's straight.
Okay,
He's
go.
straight.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they don't want you to touch the quarterback. You can talk about anybody else, but that's the franchise. Don't you dare talk about the quarterback.
Yes.
You start talking about the cornerback, not as a way to protect Brent, just as an objective viewer.
Yes.
You thought he was trash.
Yeah.
Organization is leaning on you.
Yes.
Organization is leaning on Brent.
Yes.
Are Brent's teammates fed up with Brent?
No. They're actually feeding me information
Oh.
on the low.
Talk to me.
Yes.
Talk to me.
They're telling me everything. Brent doesn't really tell me a lot. I, of course, am the weed connect in every city I
course.
go in.
Of course.
So of course the guys are hanging out with me, coming over, we smoking weed, and we just talking. And I'm like, what do you think about this? And when I'm watching the game, all he's doing is checking down. And they're like, yeah, I'm pissed off. Like, we can't. That's why he has great numbers, because in between the 20s, everybody has real estate there. But when you get in the red zone, that's when you find out if your quarterback is good or not. And that motherfucker can't score any points. And that's where the catfish is. And he's trash.
Checking down. Can you tell what that?
Checking down is there's certain routes in the NFL that are guaranteed. You can get those off on. I don't give a fuck how good of a corner you are. If somebody runs a 3-yard, 4-yard slant, there's no way to cover that.
The Patriot offense. For a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
you
times,
can
these
check
short
it down. You
passes,
just
yeah.
get these little short passes. You just keep inching your way down there. But in the red zone, that's where the defense
Everything is
heaps up.
tightened
That's
up.
when shit gets tight, booty holes get tight, and you got to actually make some plays.
And I guess the reason that is, just for people who aren't as familiar with football, is that those corners and safeties that would normally be worried
back
about the pass
over their
them
head, they don't gotta do
have
that.
to, because there's the end zone.
Everything
They
is
get to
tightened up.
Yeah, tightened
Yes.
up,
Everything
stuff
is
down.
moved in, yeah.
Right. So now
Yes.
everybody's help. It's like those linebackers, they're not worried over the top because safety got it right there.
Yes.
Check
now,
down is also like your third option, right? Like
Yes.
you're looking at the deep route, you're looking at this route. Now
you
this,
do that and
now
you
I
have
go
nothing.
here.
But that was his number one. That was his go-to up and down the field until the red zone.
Right.
You don't get that check down.
So he's going, 22 for 30, putting
But-
up 200
200
yards, and you're like 200 yards, and you're like, those look like good numbers, but someone who's nuanced in their ability to watch the game is looking like, this dude's trash. It's kind of, we could make an argument, a similar situation as Ryan in Atlanta.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan can't score in the red zone.
saw
Matt
him
Ryan's is years ahead of
Yeah,
Ryan
Matt
Tannehill.
Ryan.
Fair enough.
He also
Like I
has
said,
Julio.
he
There's
is.
but he has difficulty
he is-
finishing a job.
Well, no. Here's the only thing that I think Matt Ryan's weakness is his athleticism. That's his weakness. He doesn't. He also doesn't throw the ball very far very well. He doesn't have a strong arm. That's his weakness.
Okay,
He's way more accurate. He actually goes through progressions. He sees things. He just might not have the
He
strength
can't get it there sometimes.
to
Fair
get
enough.
it there.
Their coordinator also sucks.
Ryan Tannehill could throw the ball 90 fucking yards, but the shit ain't gonna be accurate. The
So
motherfucker
he's
ain't
got a
gonna be there.
cannon, but he's not
But he
going to get it there.
Yeah, he's a
Okay,
wide
okay.
receiver playing quarterback.
Ah.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that. He played wide. When you go to college,
Yeah.
if you come in as a quarterback your freshman year, you try out for the job. You might not get it. And they're going to keep you on the bench as a backup quarterback. They put Ryan Tannehill at wide receiver. Wide receivers get fucked up. They get hit. They don't care about you. Second year, he tries out for the quarterback job. Does not get it. Goes back to wide receiver. Third year, junior year, tries out for the quarterback job. Does not get it. Goes back to wide receiver. The quarterback gets injured halfway through the season. They move him from receiver to quarterback. He finishes the season terribly. The next year, his senior year, he plays a whole year of quarterback. They're 6-6, lose their Pro Bowl game, and this motherfucker's a lottery draft pick. Played a year and a half of college football at quarterback, and he was a lottery pick. He's a receiver. The reason he's able to take all these hits and shit, because he's been doing it his whole career. The reason he looks faster than other quarterbacks, because he was a receiver.
Right.
He can run straight. He ain't a quarterback when they say, oh, he has all these, he's a running quarterback. No, Cam Newton's a running quarterback. Russell Wilson's a running quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a running quarterback. The reason Ryan Tannehill looks like he's a running quarterback is they're usually just straight line where any of us could fucking do that. If you see real estate in front of you, you ain't never seen Ryan Tannehill juke nobody or make a stutter step move or nothing like that.
Right.
I got a question about the teammates that are feeding you bad info. Now I know you
Good
said
info.
they're feeding you info about him
Yeah.
not being good. I know you said you think Brent doesn't get the respect he deserves because he's light skinned.
Right.
Do you think teammates are harder on a bad white quarterback than a bad black quarterback?
Hell no.
I'm curious. It's an actual question.
The
I'm not
black
leading you
quarterback
anywhere.
gets way more shit.
From
Really?
teammates, not from the
team-
organization.
No, oh, fans,
From teammates.
100%. I
Yeah.
believe it. But teammates, you think are also hard on a bad black quarterback?
Yeah, it's a stigma. You're black. You should be better than this.
They've got a higher
The fact that they
expectation.
even let first of all, they don't even allow most really, really good quarterbacks in college end up converting to another position because the league doesn't even want. They think that their IQ isn't smart enough to pick up the playbook, so they don't even want black quarterbacks very much. So if you make it as a black quarterback in the NFL, somebody saw something great in you because they always come in like Cam Newton. Every black quarterback that comes into the league, there's this thing about their IQ and are they going to be able to pick up the playbook? No one ever questions if a white quarterback is going to be able to pick up the playbook ever.
Right.
Ever.
Well, I also think part of that is I just assume he's not athletic.
Well, I think the assumption is this guy's so unathletic, he must have something going for
That's
him.
literally what
That's
I think.
his IQ. So I think it's equally prejudice,
It's-
just
yeah.
in the other way.
I see what you're
it's
saying.
like, this guy's so pathetic physically, he must be smart.
This guy must be a gym rat.
Gotta be able to figure this
He
shit
knows
out.
all the plays, because look at him.
Yeah.
Bernie Kosar, remember him in Madden? The
Oh my
dude
God.
walked like he had no knees.
yeah.
Like you couldn't even do
Straight
turbo
leg.
on him. That's it, yeah.
Straight leg.
Stilts.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miami, you're getting this information. You're talking about this information. People are hearing about it. The organization hates it, but the players are not
No.
against Brent.
No.
That was my concern. I was like, would the team turn on Brent and be like, why are you tearing us apart? They're actually like,
In
why
the
is this
locker
motherfucker
room,
a quarterback?
When he was in the locker room, there was I have the video. I have to find it for you. There was a video of them like berating Brent, the media, in the locker room. Like, how do you feel about everything your wife says about the quarterback? And the whole team is around him singing songs, yelling loud so that they can't even hear
Get the question
interview.
off.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
shit.
dope.
Yes. They have his back 100%.
And do the players feel like, in a way, you had their back and you
Yes.
were airing their grievances?
Yes, I was not just airing that quarterback stuff. I was airing other things that was going on as well in the locker room. While certain people weren't getting stats, for example, Brian Hartline. He was Ryan Tannehill's number one target for 2 years in a row. He was the number one guy he threw the ball to. Next thing you know, Brian Hartline is under contract. He needs a contract the next year. They froze him out. They wouldn't give him the ball. They started saying he was getting slower. He was bad. It wasn't true. They just didn't want to pay him.
So when a team knows, this goes back to the conversation earlier. So when a team knows they're not going to win,
They start shitting on people.
now is the quarterback aware of that?
Yes.
Oh, so this is
Yes.
why. Let me ask this question: do they protect the quarterback in the media because
Yes.
the quarterback is
Knows all the secrets. The quarterback
quarterback's a snitch.
Yes, the
He's
quarterback
cooperating with the feds.
Let me tell you. Why
Yo,
do you
the
think
quarterbacks are the feds.
Why do you think the quarterback is the only one that makes all that money? No one else gets paid like a quarterback. No one. They're on the inside.
You are working for the organization.
Yes.
You are part of that organization.
Yes, you are the face of the organization. Usually.
And you know what I need you to do, Ryan? Don't throw that ball to Heartline because you know what? We ain't going to win this year. We ain't going to go to the Super Bowl this year, but I can't be paying Heartline next year. Next year, you give it to him when we get him nice and cheap.
Yeah.
Is there a resentment from players to the quarterback?
Absolutely.
Couldn't quarterbacks, I'm not saying you're wrong, but couldn't they also just get paid? Because if the Packers lose Aaron Rodgers, it's like damn near like LeBron leaving. Like they're done. They're not winning games.
They'll get paid for that. But what I'm talking about is
they follow the protocol 100%.
They're a part of the organization.
Yes.
Whereas the
if they
players
tell you
are
that
part
they
of the
don't
team.
want this person to flourish anymore, and you start throwing that ball over there, you're in trouble.
So Ryan Tannehill's like a house slave?
He's a house slave. Essentially.
All QBs.
And he should be, because he shouldn't even be starting on any team in the NFL. He should be happy. I would
all
did it too
QBs.
if
I
was
just
him.
had to pick a specifically white one for that
obviously,
reference.
for that
You know what I mean?
comment. But, okay.
I looked up.
So they're all. I'm going to use a less race-based one. They're all the feds. They're all cooperating.
Yes.
This Whitey Bulger type shit.
Yes.
Yeah, you out there doing the street stuff, but on the other ear, you talking to FBI.
Yep.
And making sure that they protect you.
Yes.
And when it's a contract year, we're not going to this guy 30 times a game or 20 times a game.
No,
you
we
can
can't
get
afford
8
that.
looks.
Yes.
We can't afford that. Let's go somewhere else.
Yes.
Are players savvy of this?
They are now.
They didn't used to be.
When I started talking about it on the radio, talking about it on my podcast, players started listening. They started like, oh, shit. They started figuring it out. Some players are still dumb to it until it happens to them.
Like who?
A lot. A lot
who's
of players.
been fucked over by this, like truly?
John Abraham.
No. I'm talking about
you can't
offensive
fuck
guys.
over a corner. The only thing you can do to a corner is say he's a bum or not give him highlights when he does great.
Okay.
But like John Abraham, perfect example.
Who
He was
that?
a defensive lineman for the Atlanta Falcons. And he had you have a contract, and then you also have bonuses in your contract.
Right.
So let's say if you get 10 sacks that year, you get an extra $1 million. If it's 3rd and 9, John Abraham, come here. Put another lineman in.
Because 3rd and 9 is sack
Passing
time.
down.
Sack
It's a
time.
passing down. There's
Of
no
course,
question yet.
obviously. So it's like, and now John isn't aware of this. He's not like, why the fuck do you keep
he
taking
can't
me?
figure it out. I told him about it.
I'm just fascinated that more people, especially players, aren't aware of the coincidence.
They
that they're-
cannot say anything. You become a locker room cancer. They will get the fuck rid of you if you start telling their secrets. All this stuff I'm saying, no one is saying it because the players cannot. And then when they retire, most of these players are trying to get a job with the NFL, or if they have some type of football camp or something, the NFL donates all their uniforms to them, and they say, you shut it up. You be a good little nigger now. you keep your mouth closed on the bad things that happen to you. We're going to keep looking out for you. Wow. That's why you see Chris Carter's bitch ass, who was an avid drug user and doing all types of crime, and now he's got a mic on his lapel, and he's out here. I can't believe these players are getting DUIs and doing coke. You're risking your career, and just shut the fuck up. You did the same thing. It just wasn't any social media back then.
Really? What did he do back then?
No,
Coke.
he gives talks and stuff though. Like he
Yeah.
was a drug addict.
He was
My
a
man
drug
was an
addict, but he is he's one of the guys that does whatever they tell him to say. You got to come when we come down on one of these players and we're trying to get rid of him and make him look bad. You got to get on the mic and you got to make him look bad. So you got to say how bad he's doing and how he should have never done that. Michael Irvin, another little coke snorting fool, always got something to say about somebody that gets caught with drugs.
So if you
yeah,
are the
disrespect
voice
Cowboys
of the
now.
player,
I'm the voice.
you're saying that Irvin and Carter are the voice of the organization,
league,
and
yes.
the league tells Irvin and Carter whatever the fuck to say.
I would say 80%
in terms of their
commentators.
opinions on what
Yes.
happens. So they're using them as a mouthpiece.
Yes.
And it's a convenient mouthpiece because, like, here are 2 black men
Played.
that played. They were exceptional. And if they agree with the league,
Yes.
then the league must not be that bad.
Deion Sanders.
Let's just say allegedly.
Hold
just
on.
to-
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, everything's
go on,
alleged.
go on.
Everything's alleged,
Yeah,
everyone.
You going at
Go,
Irvin?
go,
That's
go,
my
go,
guy.
go, go.
I'm gonna go at Irvin,
Go,
and
go,
this
go,
ain't
go.
alleged. This happened right here. This happened
Keep going,
to me.
keep going. Stop interrupting,
So,
guys. Go
Deion Sanders has a show, 21 21st in prime, whatever. He always has the best corners in the league on the show. He has never once asked my husband to be on his show. So we go to the Pro Bowl, and Dion is doing the draft. Remember they're doing the draft now at the Pro Bowl, where you're not just on an NFC team and you get drafted.
Yeah, right.
So we see him in the elevator, and he's telling Brent like, man, the shit you do, I have never seen anybody fucking do the shit you do. You're fucking incredible. You're this and that. And so I say, oh, so you're going to draft him early? You're going to draft him first? Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get my guy. He's fucking best. He's this and third. He doesn't even draft Brent at all. He drafts all these other corners before him. We see his ass again later on that week because, we're there for like 8 days. Yeah. He tried to high-five Brent. I blocked the high-five. I was like, watch out, dog. Watch out. And he was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, you didn't even draft him. He was like, well, I had to get my guys. I said, what do you mean you had to get your guys? He's like, well, we have our own little crew, our DB crew. And I mentor these guys and I have to draft them. I have to pick them because they're my guys. And I talk about them. Like they have like a cult where he is only going to big up the people that he's told, I guess, to big up. Whoever, like Sherman, Peterson, Revis. They were all in this crew with Dion, and that's the only players Dion ever talked about at that time who were the best. And I said, you in Brent's face, beating his dick, telling him how great he is, but behind closed doors, you never talk about how great he is. You never bring up all these incredible plays you've never seen anybody do. I watch your show. How come you never put him up on the screen? How come you never highlight him?
Why do you think?
Because Brent is not one of the guys. He's not. They don't want him to be a household name. He went to Shippensburg. They can't fucking promote Shippensburg University. You have to go to a big school. You have to be drafted high, and you got to sell tickets. Most people that went to a major university, Richard Sherman went to Stanford, wherever these guys went, their fan base comes with them. The alumni comes to whatever NFL team they go to, and that's how they get the fan base. Hey, we've got one of your guys here. He's the best. He's this. Richard Sherman been getting cooked his whole career, but nobody ever saw it because they never showed the highlight. Soon as he started going pro-black and started talking about Black Lives Matter and the police isn't there, that's when you start seeing Richard Sherman getting cooked.
Oh.
Yep. They made him a household name, and when he stopped following the rules of just being a kept company man on the field, that's when they started showing his lowlights, and that's when they wanted to get rid of him.
And that's when they made him tear his ACL.
Well, he did that because it just shit happens.
Who are the other company men in the league right now?
What do you mean?
The perfect examples of like they side with whatever the NFL says, and because of that, they get tons of
Odell's
exposure.
one of them.
He's a company man for the league.
Yeah, he needs this showboat and the shenanigans have to happen. That sells tickets. They love it, and then they try to persecute him for it afterwards. When they start seeing people saying, "Oh, well, it's going too far," but they love it. They fucking love Odell. He is the face almost of the NFL right now.
Who else? That's a great example of Sherman. I mean, some people might say, "Well, now he's older, and that's why he's getting cooked." But you are saying he's been getting cooked his entire career.
Yes.
And we just started finding out about it now.
You will never see it. You will never see it on a highlight. You would have never seen it.
The second he went Black Lives Matter, now all of a sudden he's getting burned at practice.
You think
Jalen
Ramsey's a company guy?
No, not yet. When he get that contract after the rookie deal, probably will be.
Now, how do these guys become company men? Does somebody
the money?
But does somebody at the NFL explain to them how this works?
Yes, they're probably their agent. Says, hey, if you want to get paid, if you want to be the face of this franchise, we've got to just, say some things that they once said. Don't be a just locker room distraction or a cancer. You got to kind of go with the flow of everything. And then that's how you get paid.
And they go, you're going to get $60 million.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in Super Bowl commercials.
Your
family's going to be good.
You're going to get chunky soup commercials. You're going to fucking get Sprite commercials. You're going to get all types of video game commercials. You're going to get everything when you're the face of the franchise. As soon as you start saying some real shit, they're done with you. Done with you.
Another company man. Is Dak?
Oh, the ultimate.
Really?
The ultimate.
What do you mean?
Just the fact that he just, even when his slave master said, if anybody kneels, you're going to get kicked off this team. First of all, they need Dak more than they need anybody on that fucking team.
Right.
And that was a perfect opportunity for you to just say nothing. Instead, you went out of your way to make a statement in favor of the owner who's saying disrespectful things about people like you and that look like you and saying, oh, well, I think it's right. I think we shouldn't talk about these things. I don't see any problems with the police. I think people, that people are getting arrested and getting killed because they're doing crime. He's right. And we shouldn't be kneeling the game. No one comes to the game to see kneeling. They don't want to hear about your protesting, yet you hear about breast cancer. You hear about military appreciation. They have all these things that they can put on and do and make you aware of, but you can't make people aware of what's happening to black people.
So Dak, you think is definitely
I
company.
think he just said stand for the anthem. I don't remember any of the other stuff.
Oh, he said way more than that. You can Google it. He said way more than that.
I mean,
everybody hates that motherfucker.
Really? Players?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. No one can come out and say it, but yeah, he did the most disrespectful shit ever.
What did he do?
He talked in favor of the owner. You can just be quiet. You can just be quiet. Or you can be the ultimate company man and agree with the owner.
His own teammates don't like him.
Nah.
Really?
Not the real ones. Not nah. Not for that, no. That's exactly what happened to Derek Carr. Why Derek Carr fell is because the offensive line is essentially a white position. It's one of the whitest positions in the NFL. It's probably the only one, honestly, that's dominated by white players outside of quarterback. Oh, that don't count.
Punter.
So when Derek Carr had a all-black defensive line,
Guy
offensive
who puts
line.
that blue thing over you when you're injured.
Oh yeah,
These are the white positions.
When Derek Carr,
Philip, please put that blue thing over Cam.
When the Cheeto in the front office called black players that are kneeling sons of bitches, the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders wanted to kneel as a group, and you are nothing without your quarterback.
The offensive line
of the Oakland Raiders is 100% black.
So
first time
I've
seen that.
It's very rare that a offensive line is black.
So if you're kneeling as an offensive line, you know who should kneel with you?
Your quarterback.
You know why?
Why?
You protect him.
Ooh.
You are the only reason he's breathing.
That is your wall.
That's your wall.
Mm-hmm.
They got in a physical fight in the locker room, in Washington Redskins locker room, because he was telling them to not kneel. No, none of you guys are kneeling.
Derek Carr is telling his black line not to kneel.
And not only not to kneel, that he's not kneeling with them.
And then next game.
He hasn't been right since. He got sacked about 8 times. He's been getting his ass fucked up.
The immigrants were crossing the border.
Yes. He's been getting fucked up ever since then. He hasn't even they were on the road to a Super Bowl that year. They have not been anything close to it since then.
Now, is the offensive line ever concerned that by letting him get touched, it could hurt their career and their future contracts?
I don't think they cared at that moment. I honestly feel like it was rage, it was anger, because people have already questioned whether he's a racist. You know, he follows Trump. He's one of those make America great again motherfuckers.
Really?
He's a hardcore Christian. He doesn't believe that police are murdering black people. He believes black people are just committing more crime, and this is what happens.
Really?
His brother is the same way. His dad's the same way. If you follow them on social media, they're all very, very, very pro-conservative GOP running motherfuckers. And so when he did that, you're like I said, if your offensive line kneels, I don't give a fuck what you believe in. You should have kneeled. And his career ain't been the same since. He got fucked up so many times. He got injured quite a few times.
This week, him and Gruden were going at it. Did you see that? They were
that's what
screaming at each
I'm
other.
telling
on the
you,
line.
because no one likes him. No one wants to play with him anymore.
Is he in a contract year?
No.
No.
He got paid.
He got big time, right?
He got paid.
Yeah.
This is so fascinating that the quarterback is the feds. The quarterback
it is interesting.
Involved with the organization, and they are complacent. Not only complacent.
Complicit.
They are complicit. They are complicit with reducing the value of players on their own fucking team. Dude, that is
because
nuts.
The win is in the money. Let me give you another reason why. So a GM comes in. A GM comes in for a team. Imagine you're a GM.
There's a real quick point about Dak, to your point, actually. Jerry Jones came out this week and was like, I wouldn't trade 2 first-round picks for Dak. Dak is going to get an extension.
Yes.
And all the fans in Dallas, I still listen to the ticket, Dallas Sports Radio, they were just like, Why?
Why
For
why
what?
say that?
Why are you
Yeah.
saying that now? Wait a year at best. 2 first-rounders? We would all take 2 first-rounders for
Right.
Dak.
Everybody would.
But that is to your point of Dak had their back.
Yes.
Dak's
He's
gonna
a
get
company
money.
man. So your GM, his job is to draft and bring in players to help you win. If this is a perfect example as to why Brent never played. Brent was undrafted. If Brent comes in and is playing better than the guys he drafted, the owner says, "What do I need you for? You don't even know what you're doing."
Yeah.
So they won't play a guy who wasn't drafted or who they didn't draft or sign way more because they look like they failed. And now, instead of saying, you know what, I fucked this one up, this guy's going to help us win, the GM will say, nah, I'm not playing him because I look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Holy shit.
Girl Code, the TV show,
Uh-huh.
developed by MTV2 when it was a channel, played on MTV,
Right.
massively successful. You see
I've
these.
always wanted to be on there.
You would have been great.
So bad.
But you see these girls. I mean, I was on it, but you see these girls, especially becoming like pseudo celebs, like shutting down malls. You know, like Carly Aquilino, a friend of ours.
Anytime you saw a girl with
Shut-
orange hair, that was Carly.
It was,
Yeah.
but shut down a mall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like fucking famous. But it was developed by MTV2. It's getting success on MTV. MTV starts going, well, we have people here who create shows, GMs. We can't have this other little channel making the shows that are popular on our network. Don't program it, meaning don't put it on.
Yeah.
Put it on every once in a while. They fucking sabotaged that show that was killing it for
Yeah.
them to protect their own jobs
Yep.
as creators. And this is happening at
In
the
the
fucking
NFL.
highest levels at the NFL
Yes.
as well. Quarterbacks are snitching, or quarterbacks are the feds. GMs
are looking out for
are
themselves,
only looking out for themselves.
so they keep their job.
And part of their job is getting players to sign cheap, so they're burying certain players.
Yep.
They're making certain players look shittier so they can re-sign them
For
less
cheaper.
money. Their organizations are holding on to criminal information.
Yes.
Protecting players
Yes.
for criminal information.
Yes.
Right? Just so that they can release it right around contract time, not because you care about how a player treats his wife or does
Nope.
drugs or anything like that, but so you can get a few million knocked off.
Yep. On the contract.
I mean, these teams are worth billions of dollars.
They're greedy.
So for ill shit to be going on doesn't not make sense. You know what I mean?
I think that makes a lot. Yeah.
Like the Cowboys are worth $5 billion.
and they're
corporate
still
espionage.
greedy, and they're still fucking
That's
greedy.
how rich people stay rich.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
how every billion-dollar corporation is going to be like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I am just like, this is wild. This is like insider trading. Like
Yes.
this on a corporate level would be looked at as illegal.
Yes.
This would be
It is illegal. It should be. The things that they're doing.
there's a word for this, and it's insider trading in the stock market, Wall Street. But within other companies, these would be like HR violations. Like
Yes.
if my contract is contingent on a certain level of sales for my job, but you stop allowing me to sell when I get to a certain point,
Yeah.
that's a conflict of interest right there. There must be some sort of like work
a rule,
relations.
But they make their own rules. Just like they pay the cheerleaders $75 a game.
yeah, but they're useless.
I mean, they really
Yeah,
people
they're-
keep making this
Then-
point.
then
and
don't
if you
even
got rid
have
of
'em.
cheerleaders, nobody would notice.
Then don't have them.
That's
Don't
what
have
is
them
gonna end
doing
up
nude
happening.
photo shoots for your season ticket
Well,
holders.
they're not nude, so
But
don't disappoint
They're
us.
topless.
But here's the thing.
100%
Where are these topless ones?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so lost and blind.
Yeah,
It's not
just
going to be on
perked up
social
like
media,
Oh,
but
I am not lost when it comes to naked women.
this is a very known fact that they do these topless photo shoots, and the people that have the season tickets for 10 years or they get invited, you don't get to do video and none of that stuff, but they get to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a couple like things that they did were potentially creepy, but at the same time, these girls use this as a credit. If you're a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, you're going to be able to like get these dancing gigs in other places. You do all these appearances. You get invited to all. They like a lifestyle. You know, I remember the Knicks dancers
They're
used
the
to.
original Instagram thoughts.
They are. They are.
But
Yeah.
you don't get to tweet what you want. You don't get to. They control your social media.
Who's
everything.
reading hot girls' Twitter?
No, I'm saying
Bitch, you
it's
talking for
freedom.
what?
It's freedom of speech. We
But
should
that's
all
your
have
choice.
that.
That's your choice. Once you get
For
a certain
$75
job,
an hour, I wish the fuck I would.
so you won't, but some
Yeah.
girls will. right?
A
Some
lot
girls
of girls
really
suck.
want to. I mean, like, don't act like you love dancing and that's why you're doing it for dancing. You don't get to dance. You just shake the pom poms in the air
If
and then do a
thousands
fucking
of people
split.
audition, they're gonna keep paying you $75.
Yeah.
You want to raise
That's
the price? Nobody auditions.
You don't do anything. I'm fine with them paying them nothing. You do nothing. Nobody's watching the game for the cheerleaders. The only reason cheerleaders are cool is if you fuck one, you get to tell your friends. That's the only thing that makes them cool. If you fucking Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, you're like, ooh, I did that. Boom.
That's a credit, and
It's
that's
a credit.
too.
It's a dick credit. Put it on the belt.
A dick credit.
Because it's in the shot.
Oh,
Oh,
careful
shit.
your phone.
Sorry.
So, okay.
I
Wrap-
have, oh, you go.
Wrapping this, just getting towards the end because we've been going. I could go on forever about this. You're in Miami, Dolphins contract.
It's about to be over. They
It's about
start
to be
putting
over.
out bad press about Brent, saying, "Oh, he's getting older. We can't pay him the rest of that contract because he's kind of slowing down. He's
Everything
32."
that we've been saying about other players
It's happening
now
to
is
Brent.
starting to apply to Brent.
Correct.
But you've seen the game. You've
Yes.
seen it from the inside, and you're aware of what's happening.
Correct.
So your goal is
Get him off this team.
now. It's not, let me resign. It's not anything. It's, I actually want you to think I'm such a pain in the ass. You wanted the Dolphins to think that Miko Grimes is such a pain in the fucking ass, thorn in their side, that it's not even worth it for them
keep
to
them.
have Brent on the team. Because if they don't wish to re-sign Brent, they don't sour his name in the streets.
Correct.
Right?
Oh,
See what I'm saying?
That's brilliant.
So if like they only sour your name
They'll
if
sour
they
Miko's
want
name.
you.
Sign you, yes.
yeah.
The player, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Like they're only releasing the image of Odell with the Coke because they want
Him.
Odell.
Well, and
if
if-
they thought Odell was trash, right? If they thought Odell couldn't play, they
Well,
would love it if he was on another team, especially in the division.
Yeah.
If they truly thought that that Brent couldn't play anymore, you'd be calling up your biggest rival, like, he's got some years left. I wish I could sign him.
Yeah.
And then you cook him every single time the team is
Yeah.
met. So your goal is get him released with no interest from the Miami Dolphins.
Correct.
So they don't sour him, and we still have enough leverage.
They shit on me.
Shit on you,
You take
not
the,
Brent.
You take the arrows.
Yes.
You're the pain in the ass.
Yes.
And all of us are looking at this, myself included, like, this fucking girl is costing him money. How is he still with her? How is he not divorcing her? Why is another team going to put up with this? What the fuck is going on?
They tried to make him take a pay cut. He was due $16 million. They didn't want to give it to him. They said, "We'll give you 1 year, $4 million.
And what'd you say?
Go fuck yourself."
You giving me?
0. We want nothing. We want off the team." And they're like, "No, he's gonna sign here. Take the $4 million. No one else is gonna give it to him." I said, "We'll figure that out when you release him." They had to release. They don't have to release him. They can hold him until June. And at June, no one has any money to give him.
That's right, because
Right,
you've
right.
already given up.
It's already
on it.
given
Free
out.
agency's-
So I
yeah.
told Brent I needed 72 hours. I needed him to remove the muzzle. I need 72 hours.
It's like the Patrice joke.
I need 72 hours to go buck wild and get you out. He goes, "They're not going to do it. I don't care what you say. They're not going to do it." I said, "What you want to bet?" And he goes, "Well, whatever you do, if you do shit on them really bad, another team's not going to assign me because of you." And I said, "Let me worry about that."
Okay, so what's the strategy?
The strategy
Real
is
quick
to
question. Do they try to get at Brett like, do they try to come between the marriage?
yes.
Okay.
They told him to get rid of me. Why are you even staying with her? She's bad for your business. You're such a nice guy. Like, you're nothing like her.
Okay.
You're so great. You're so
Yeah.
nice. Everyone loves you.
Who in the organization told him to divorce you?
They didn't say divorce me. They just were putting bugs out and saying how bad I am for his reputation, how no one's going to sign. You sure you want to be with her? You sure you want this on your
Because
resume?
if they could drive the wedge, then they can manipulate Brent. They know they can't manipulate Brent with you.
Nope.
Okay, so now you say, I want the muzzle off for 72 hours.
Yes.
What is the strategy?
To destroy the front office, the GM, the owner, the quarterback.
Okay, specific targets.
Yes, specific people.
And why will destroying them get you released? Get him
Because
released?
because the things that I would say will be so true, they want it to stop.
And the only way it stops is if you
Cut
get what
him.
you want, which is him cut.
Cut.
Okay,
So are you
what is it?
leaking? Are you leaking news?
What do you say?
I'm leaking that Ryan Tannehill was shitting on the practice squad players and saying that you guys only make this much money. I make this much money. You know, I'm leaking that they forced him and Brian Hartline to still be friends after he wouldn't throw him the ball. They had this routine they did coming out of the locker room every single game, the whole time they played there. Brian Hartline hated his fucking guts, but they made them do this whole image
perception.
For perception of the
routine?
fan base. They stood in the tunnel, him, Brian Hartline, and Matt Moore, and they had this little brotherhood thing where they did this little dapping and they walk out together. It's corny.
It's all fake.
It's
for
all
the perception
fake
of
for
the
the
franchise.
perception of the
Everybody
franchise.
looks good.
Every single person on the team wanted Matt Moore to play. They petitioned multiple times to get Ryan Tannehill benched. They went to the coaches multiple times.
Yeah.
They also told certain players, like the safeties, that if they're running cover 2 or something, don't help Brent. Let him get beat so that we can make his salary less. Yes, I was telling.
Oh, I
everything.
remember you telling me this. So they were saying, this is early, but I want to get to the
They were
72
trying to
hours.
sabotage
but
him.
They were trying to sabotage Brent. So they were telling safeties not to cover him.
Right.
Have his back.
Don't help.
Right.
Yes.
Don't help, right? So he gets beat once.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at the safety. And he's going, why don't you have my back? Why don't you have my back? How did he, you told him.
I said, yo, these motherfuckers are not going to have your back. They're looking out for self. They're trying to make you look bad. As an organization, it's time to leave. It's time to get the fuck out of here. So I started airing all this. So people were like,
but before
how
that,
was
you
this
tell
happening?
Brent, I was
telling
listen,
them in the
they're
game.
not going to have your back, so don't
I said,
dig.
don't anticipate that safety being there.
We
You're
out.
on your own by yourself for the rest of the
Islands.
season. Island. Don't even think for a second. You in no coverage except 0.
And then he shut shit down.
Yes.
Right?
It took
So
him a while to figure out that I
first
was
few
telling
games-
the truth. Yes.
the first
Why
few
he
games-
always takes a while?
Because he doesn't want to believe people are that horrible. He really thinks the best in everyone.
He's half white.
Motherfucker.
It takes us a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not immediate.
And he figured it out. And so I started airing it out and telling the fans everything that was going on.
There's this black side where you're like, there's a conspiracy against you, and this black side is like, oh, I believe it. Oh, definitely, that's possible. His
Yeah.
white side, you guys are crazy.
So it took 48 hours.
Okay, real quick
And they-
before that, just to lead up to it, his teammates are selling him down the river as well because they don't have his back.
Correct.
First few games, he's getting torched, and he's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
You see it. Mm-hmm. He switches it up, finishes the season strong.
Right. Yes.
But it was literally he had to deny what his coaches were telling
Correct.
him. His coaches would be like, "Hey, go for that if you
This
see the
one coach who was telling him this, they're still friends to this day. I fucking hate that coach's guts. I hate him. And
Who is
Coach Lou.
Okay.
He coached the Giants now. And we loved him. We were like family with him.
Right.
And he was one of the people that sabotaged Brent. And he was like trying to apologize, saying, they told me I had to keep my job. He still got fired that same year
course you're gonna
anyway.
get fired.
You know, and so I'm not forgiving. And Brent's like, I forgave him. Like, you know, he was just doing his job. Fuck him.
48 hours in.
They
You
cut
say-
Brent.
They cut Brent.
24 hours later, 2-year, $16.5 million contract.
That's the guarantee.
With
That's guaranteed.
all guaranteed with Tampa Bay.
Yes.
24 hours later, muzzle's back on.
Back on.
How old?
33.
33 years old.
Yes.
2-year deal with Tampa
16 and
Bay.
a half guaranteed.
16.5 guaranteed. Goes through both years.
Both years.
Ready to
Got
retire.
ready to retire.
And then
they come back and say one more.
we'll give a
One
35
more.
years old.
35 years old. It's $10 million contract, but only 7's guaranteed. $3 million are incentives that are very attainable.
It's not a bullshit incentive-based contract,
Correct.
which a lot of these sometimes are.
Yeah, correct. So he's gonna guarantee probably get 8.5 of it.
Beautiful,
The rest
which you're
of it
happy
is-
with.
Yes.
That's what you've been making the
Yes.
last few years is
Yes.
$8.5 million a year around.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You've been quiet. I think you kind of like Tampa Bay.
I've been quiet because they are people of their word. They don't shit on my husband. They haven't been disrespecting him. You know, they don't. He's older. They could have easily been pulling the card of him being trash as their. But what they know is, since he's been to Tampa Bay, this is the least amount of targets he's ever gotten in his career.
So now around the league, quarterbacks, or at
Don't
least
throw.
it's always been known amongst quarterbacks. Maybe
Yeah.
the NFL hasn't promoted it. Maybe you haven't
But
seen it on
offensive
ESPN.
coordinators of other teams, they
They
know.
know.
Stay away from that guy. You can still beat them, even if you stay away from him.
And you have the numbers to prove it in terms of
Yes.
targets and all that kind of shit.
Yes. And this is what pisses me off about that PFF shit. They have Brent rated like a terrible cornerback, but here's essentially what happens. He'll get 2 balls a game. There'll be a 7-yard route, a 3-yard route, both caught.
So now it looks like
Every ball he gets, they don't
is
say
caught.
how many, they just say
Pro Football Focus is
100%.
this weird thing where like I follow all these like football dorks who fucking swear by it,
Yep.
so I just kind of believe them. But I'm always like, none of us know what any of this means.
No, you
We
don't
don't know
even-
how they come up with this number. Chris
yes.
Collinsworth co-owns it.
Yeah.
That's why they always pump it. And this is a thing on NBC Football.
Yeah.
He'll always talk about PFF ratings.
Yeah.
Pro Football Focus has him. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's like a thing. That's not even.
It's a thing.
That's out there.
So
People
when you
talk
see
about
that
this.
and you go, well, if people are completing 100, I think it's something like 80% of their passes on Brent. Why aren't they throwing more? They only throw the ball they know they can get.
3-yard.
Yeah.
6 yard.
6 yard. That's it.
It's a 7-yard catch when you're 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you that.
Yes.
That's a stop.
But they don't throw. No, he hasn't gotten a deep ball. I've seen one bad play of him this whole season, and it was Julio Jones. He got him on a double move. That's the only play this entire season where I've seen him get beat on something where he was
and
guessing.
Julio will be beating people.
Yeah. Who he was
If
guessing.
you
He
get
was
beat
gambling.
by Julio, AB,
Yeah.
even Odell, like, all right.
Add your name to the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, but essentially, Odell got no. They didn't throw the ball one time when Brent was on Odell yesterday. Not one single time. Not one. Every time he got a ball, it was on the other side or in the slot or
So
something.
is Brent not playing a wide receiver? He's playing a side of the field.
Yes.
Is that the setup that they have over there?
Yes, he's on a
He's
side
not
of the
traveling.
field.
Right.
Not traveling. They didn't pay. We told them you didn't pay for travel.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't pay for travel.
You
Because-
told him or he told him?
I told him.
Who's the agent now representing? Is it basically
Me.
you? Yeah. Is there an
No, for
actual
real.
No,
agent?
he
Is
has
it just you?
CAA. Yeah,
Okay.
but I do a lot of speaking for Brent.
Yeah, especially even in contracts.
Yes, absolutely.
I was just so excited to bring you on. I mean, I'm like blown away by this story, and I've even heard pieces of the story. But I think it's such an interesting. And again, you're like a big football fan.
Yeah.
Did I discourage you? Did I hurt you?
No. You know it's fucked. Like, I understand this is the most brutal game. There are no guaranteed contracts. These guys are killing themselves. I always have this weird thing where I'm like, look, I feel bad that I watch, but I love it, so I'm going to keep watching.
I'm not.
And as a
knocking-
fan, same thing.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not knocking you
like
for-
you know,
yeah.
they gave him a
No.
second round tender. I know this guy, his career could end,
Right.
and then he's got to live on this. I still love the game.
I'm
It's like
I'm talking more like not your appreciation. of the
Knowing
game. That's
that
not
it's
what I'm trying
that
to
it's
get. Like,
cheating, knowing
I
that your
knew-
best
I knew it was
receiver
shady as
doesn't get the
fuck.
ball
Not-
because of a contract. How do you feel?
Not even that. Like, is this eye opening to you? Like this being exposed to me, I was blown the fuck away.
It all made sense to me because I knew.
Right.
So what she's saying is a good team or a competitive team
Yeah,
isn't going to say, "Hey, let's not give this good player the ball."
Right.
But a bad team, it makes perfect sense. We'll get a
Yes.
higher draft pick.
Yes.
This guy can go get his money. We don't need to pay him.
Yes.
We'll get our great quarterback.
Right.
System will be whatever.
Yeah.
New coach. Like it makes perfect sense. Football is the shadiest.
Yeah.
I didn't have any.
I was hoping you'd be excited and like everybody be like, "Oh my god, blown away," but it's fine. Yeah, I
Well,
guess,
I-
I guess
she
it's
was-
just me. It's not
she
like,
asked if I
it's
was
not
like-
no, it's not a
Because
product.
you know,
Yeah.
as I started to learn the inside of the game, it's made me really hate it. It really has because I feel sorry for.
I don't want anybody to hate football. If you love football, love it. That's not.
She
what this
hates
is
it because
about.
she married to a guy in it. I ain't married to
If
nobody
I
who
didn't
plays
know
football.
what I
love
knew,
it.
I would love it. I wouldn't understand. And this is the worst part about the NFL. This is about the game. Is this on Monday? They might come in and lift weights and watch film. Tuesday's the only day off.
That's right.
When you come in on Wednesday, whatever you're going to do on Sunday has already been decided without your permission, without your clearance, without your question or anything. So when you come in on Wednesday and they say, okay, we're playing the Giants this week. Here's how we're going to guard them on defense. And you're like, I've been playing against Odell. I've been playing against Eli all these years. I think we should, we didn't ask you. So here's what we're going to do. They have no say-so. The game plan has already been decided on Wednesday. They just practice it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This game plan. Saturday's a walkthrough, Sunday's the game. You don't get a say. They're playing Madden. You could be so much better if you allowed the players to have an input.
I agree on a surface level. I also have to respect that there are an incredible amount of moving parts
what I was gonna say, exactly
on a
what I was
team.
gonna
But you
And
should still have like Brent
Yes,
Grimes,
I think-
35-year-old, 13-year
Yes,
vet, should
yes.
have a say. So
but
he's
here's
seen
the
a
thing,
lot of
here's
reps.
the thing, not everybody's Brent. And I think what happens in the league, and maybe it isn't happening for Brent, but it does happen with certain players.
they will have some say so. They will have a coach's ear, and they will have some.
No, they don't.
Yeah, quarterbacks do.
That's the only position.
And no, what about a linebacker?
No.
Yeah, I bet you the middle linebacker. You were
No.
saying Ray Lewis didn't have a say.
Did
on
not
that
have
Ravens
a
defense.
fucking say. You know what he had to say on?
What?
Sometimes he freelanced, and the reason you get to do that is if you make the play. But there's already, you're supposed to do this, motherfucker.
I see it with that many people. It's just like. It's like war in a certain extent. It's like you have 400 people that are going to battle. Yeah, you'd like to ask a few of them what they think it would be like, but maybe it's easier if you just go, hey, everybody follow this plan just for efficiency. I understand that. Could they get something from Brent? Undeniably.
Certain players, not everyone. I'm saying there
Yes.
should be certain players let in on this game
Real
plan.
talk, that's what Tuesday could be. It could be
Yes.
a phone call with Brent. And maybe the teams that are wildly efficient, maybe the teams that do things well,
Possibly have somebody, because we've been on trash teams since we left the Falcons.
Except the Bucks.
They ain't good. They trash.
I know. I'm trying to make Brett
No,
money.
they're trash too.
but like maybe I don't know, maybe Patriots seem like they have their thing down.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe these young coaches.
That's what I think. I think these young coaches need to start taking over
Like Sean
and
McVay.
changing
Sean McVay, yeah.
the game, changing training camp. Why the fuck do they literally beat the fuck out of them for
Yeah.
4 weeks and then say, go play 16 games?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Like, I feel like training camp should be the learning part. You should work out. They never actually work out. They just play football. We got to get out of here.
I mean,
We've
How long
been
is this
going
episode, Alex?
3 hours.
we
2:48.
248. We could talk forever about this. Before we
Yes.
got here, I want some quick hits.
Okay. What's that?
I have like a question of like
Yeah,
most
please,
important.
ask. Yeah.
So like we have an idea where this is in basketball, but now that you're here, where do the hoes sit in football?
That's a great question.
Ooh. Well, I will tell you this.
That's a great question,
A
Alex.
home
I'm really happy
home
you asked.
game. There is a family section.
Okay.
The hoes will be in the family section.
They will not.
Yes, they will.
With the family.
Yes, they
What?
will.
That's crazy.
Kids
Yeah.
just looking at hoes that my father
They
is.
don't look like hoes at the game.
No. What I'm trying to
Hoes,
say
hoes.
is like, will that guy's wife and that guy's hoe be in the same section?
Correct.
And that guy's wife is okay with it?
She don't know.
And she's not even asking questions every time?
Most of the wives are like, they know who they are from Instagram and social media. Like, I wonder which one of them is fucking this hoe. And it's probably
Your man.
your man.
Have
Yeah.
you ever been worried about that?
No.
Because you're just okay with it.
No, it's really because
I thought you
Brent-
was a queen.
Brent
Miko.
doesn't make me
Goddamn.
feel that way.
What do you mean by that?
He begs me to go to the games, home and road. I go to every single game.
No, I'm talking about with the side chicks.
I don't sit in the family section.
Got you.
All they want to do is
there
talk
any
the whole
worry?
game.
Is there any worry about you with side chicks?
No, sometimes I want to bring them home. Just
So
damn.
your strategy is
She's
you're
a
just
real
the
one.
best
Jeez, I
athlete
know,
wife.
like,
son.
this
Like,
is
this
crazy.
you taking all the fun out of cheating. You're like, now let's do this together.
Hey, if you're gonna do it, fucking, why can't I join in? That's unfair.
Okay, quick hits, and then we got to get out of here because this has been our longest episode. But I think
I love you guys though.
the
Appreciate
most
it.
You're dope as fuck.
fascinating, just fucking story. What a story. Why is Drew Brees not mentioned with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in the GOAT conversation? This guy is how old now?
35.
No,
40. He's 40.
he's 40 years
not 40,
old.
is
yes,
he?
he
40.
is.
He's 40.
He's my favorite quarterback.
I
in
know
the
this, and
entire
that's why I
NFL.
ask you. And you and Brent and him have a good relationship,
Yes,
right? Because Brent
great
be locking his ass
relationship.
down.
Yes,
he don't
they
like
have
that.
Yes, they have a great relationship. It was awkward when I got with Brent, knowing that Drew Brees was my favorite quarterback.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that
That's why he locked him down extra hard.
he does.
heard that
He takes
shit.
it personal. And when I used to be a Mark Sanchez fan just because he went to SC, and Brent fucking picks his shit off every time he played him.
See, what you need to do is say that Julio Jones looking good.
Well, he doesn't play against Julio. He
Teasing.
plays against the quarterback,
Go on.
honestly. But I think that Drew Brees doesn't get the credit he deserves quite simply because he doesn't look the part. He doesn't look like a quarterback.
He's a little guy.
He's little.
an
He doesn't
accountant.
they don't want kids looking up to little guys. They want him to look like a 6'3", tall, white
stud. Yes.
And Drew Brees
An
is
astronaut.
small. He doesn't fit the mold of what they like to.
Is he as good as those two other guys I just
Absolutely.
mentioned? Every bit.
Absolutely. The only thing he doesn't have on most of them is height and athleticism. Aaron Rodgers is the best overall. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He's the best quarterback in the league. And I'm talking about not as far as championships. I'm saying a body of, if you put a quarterback out here and you have the exact same receivers and you have corners on them and you don't have Belichick with a game plan, if you're just playing outside football, I guarantee you're going to want Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady.
Is that right?
Flat out.
Really?
And Drew Brees also.
Over Tom Brady?
Yes.
So for you, it is currently
Aaron Rodgers,
Drew
Brees, Tom Brady.
Wow.
Correct.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Drew Brees is probably the most accurate. He's like a marksman.
That's his thing.
Yes. He can fucking put the ball right where it needs to be, and he can't even see over his offensive line.
That's what's so fascinating to me. It's like there has to be some level of prediction.
Now, what I will say to you is this is, even though he's playing amazing, I do see him declining. I do see that.
Even this year? Because I thought this year he's MVP
the
candidate.
Accuracy is what I'm very.
But he's at the highest completion percentage.
Yeah, they're like 8. He's at
the,
like
the plays he misses are his fault. A lot of them they didn't used to be. I've been watching him since San Diego Chargers,
right.
and that doesn't mean he's not still great. I'm saying I can see some balls that he would have never missed before.
Now missing
certain stuff, little things like that. I notice.
Aaron Rodgers, any sign of decline?
No. Only thing that's sad about Aaron Rodgers is he's always getting injured, and that's because they don't really have a great game plan. The coaching is terrible in Green Bay.
Really?
And they basically rely on
McCarthy's
him.
Probably getting fired.
They rely on him to do everything. There's no game plan. It's hike, Aaron, make something happen. Yes. That game plan is trash. If you don't have Aaron Rodgers running that's why every time he's out, they look terrible. If somebody's out in New England, they look great because there's a game plan.
Right,
there's something there. In New England, in Green Bay, there's no game plan. It's just Aaron Rodgers.
Brent's
favorite quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Is that right?
Correct.
That's the one who he thinks is the most difficult to play against?
Most difficult. He gives him the most shit.
Why?
Because he's disrespectful in a sense. When you see when you're playing corner and you're on this motherfucker, this receiver, I'm on him. They ain't gonna throw the ball. Aaron gonna throw that motherfucking ball.
Really?
Yes, he's going to throw it.
He's not afraid of nobody.
Nope.
If there's room, he's putting it there.
It don't even gotta be room. He gonna throw the ball. Tom Brady avoids Brent like the plague.
Really?
Yes. Drew Brees, low-key, avoids Brent like the plague. He has to trick Brent. He has to do a triple move, double move, flea flicker, something to get Brent. But
Really?
Aaron Rodgers, you could be right there. He going to throw the ball.
And there's some level of respect between Brent and Aaron because of that?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. What about Russell Wilson? I think Russell Wilson is
he's so
slept-on
underrated.
I think
great
Russell
man.
Wilson is Drew Brees with athleticism.
Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. Kind of short guy, but great fucking arm.
Yeah.
Cannon
It's
and
beautiful.
accurate.
He doesn't have as much accuracy.
Maybe a little less than Drew, but
Yes,
still,
but in
in terms of
great.
elite quarterbacks, his
I would
accuracy
love
is up
to
there.
have him. I would love to have him.
Dude,
yeah.
under fucking rated. I think he
Underrated.
gets overshadowed by that D. That D gets all this
Yeah.
credit, but like they're
This
scoring
year,
touchdowns.
this year he's getting the credit because now it's on his shoulders. He
I
he
think
needs
last
to
year
ball.
too. I thought last year he could have been MVP.
He needs to ball. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. If I know you don't want Brent to play anymore, if you had to play one more year, what team? He gets to go to any team. What team? What coach? What system? Where do you want him?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh, underrated coach. I think. I underrate him.
I would have said Rams, but the reason I say the Chiefs is because I think Mahomes is better than Goff, and they've got a lot of
Just
weapons.
weapons everywhere.
Everywhere.
Why can Andy Reid not win in the playoffs? But why is he so proficient in the regular season?
Alex Smith.
I said I wasn't a believer in Alex Smith. I always said
They
that.
will win with Mahomes.
But what about
McNabb before that.
Yeah, McNabb. What about Vic? Like
I don't
he just
think
can't
any
win in
of
the
them.
playoffs.
They got them when they were shells of themselves per se.
Nah, McNabb was a rookie. McNabb was drafted Philly.
Oh! You mean
Donovan
there?
McNabb and
Yeah.
Andy Reid in Philly. I mean, that was your Super Bowl, but like.
I don't think. I think it's quarterback play. Honestly, I think it's quarterback.
So
play.
at the end of the day, in the playoffs, doesn't matter how well you plan the game out.
yeah.
A quarterback
Right.
is going to need to make some play. I mean, we
He's
saw that
gonna
last
have-
year
Yeah.
in Philly.
He's gonna have to
Yeah.
make it happen. You can have this is the thing. After 16 games, everybody knows what you're doing now. There's so much film on you. They got 7 days to prepare for you, and they're going to. If a good defensive coordinator is going to find your weakness, and it's up to your quarterback to beat
it.
that weakness. And if you have a good quarterback, they will do it. And I think Mahomes has it.
This
I think
kid
he
has
has it. He might not succeed this year because he's still young and it's a different animal, the playoffs. He's going to learn that. We're going to find out what kind of balls he has. But I think he's a quarterback of the future.
What you mean balls he has?
Like when you're a rookie, your balls shrivel up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to take those chances
you're
that you would
scared.
regular season.
Yeah.
It's stakes. If you lose, your season is over. It's not a 7-game series.
And some players are like, oh, let's fucking go. Let's see.
Who's let's go?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron like the ball, huh?
AR-12 is let's go.
That's big dick Aaron.
He don't even need a good
12
leg.
is inches.
All he needs is one good leg and one good arm, and Aaron Rodgers is going to
beat the Cowboys on one good leg.
That's fucking right.
Yeah.
What about Tom? You can't say Tom is not.
I can't say that about Tom. No,
That
Tom
motherfucker is a
he's
gamer.
ready to go as well. Only good thing about him is he has a game plan. His job is done before the week starts. The coaches tell him exactly how this shit's going to go.
When it comes to it, execution,
he
ain't no game plan for down 21 points
Correct.
in the fourth quarter.
He executes quite well. And he trusts the system. That's another big thing. You have to trust your system.
Right.
Your players have to know exactly where they're supposed to be, do things exactly how you tell them to do it. And it's a system. You don't run your routes wrong. You don't improvise on your route. If I say you make this turn at this hash mark, this where the ball's going to be, Tom's going to put the ball right there, and you better fucking be there.
When a running back leaps over a corner.
That happened to Brent yesterday.
Yep. Who, Saquon?
I don't know. I don't remember who it was.
Now, what happens to him in the locker room later that night?
Nothing.
Nothing? There's nobody's making fun of him for getting jumped
That's
over?
for fans and the media.
Really?
These guys know that it's hard as fuck to play against other guys and things are going to happen.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest misconceptions.
So it's not like in NBA where like you get crossed over and motherfuckers like, fam, you got dropped.
Nah, because it's football. It's different.
Right.
Because you don't. In basketball, if somebody crosses you, get an opportunity to cross them back. Brent never gets the ball to be able to do it back to the guy. Yeah. You see what I mean? It's different. It's like, imagine if in football, if a turnover happened, those same offensive guys had to stay out on defense and the other team flips and plays offense. Then it would be fair. Then you can crack jokes because it's different. But you don't get to do those kind of things to him because you're on defense. You only play defense.
Right.
I have a couple more questions.
We got to run out.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Best and most overrated wide receiver and DB outside of Brent.
Best, what do you mean? Oh, two different things. Best receiver is Julio Jones, no question.
Is there one that you think is just wildly overrated?
Most overrated, Michael Thomas is
Really?
New Orleans Saints.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, and then DBs?
Most overrated, Jalen Ramsey.
I thought you might say that.
Ramsey.
Hear that sometimes. And then who you think is the best DB besides Brent?
There's a guy in San Diego Chargers. I think he got injured 2 years in a row now. I think he's injured again, which is so sad. I can't remember his name, but
The motherfucker keeps getting injured.
Well, it happened last year, and this is the first years he was balling before that. But if anybody knows his name, I'm sorry, I can't remember everybody's names. But it's a San Diego Chargers corner that I think is fucking incredible.
Okay, last question I got. Help us settle a debate here.
Okay.
Which athlete is the bigger genetic freak, NBA athlete or NFL athlete?
Oh, NFL.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Thank
NBA players are skilled. They're not all athletic.
We're talking about what is more rare. And
Oh,
then we
wait,
literally
wait.
got it. Yeah, I think that's what is more
Say
rare.
it again.
I assume being 6'11", having the agility and the jumping ability and all these and the coordination is much more rare than being, let's say, 5'10" and having all those things.
No. The basketball things can be learned. Those are skills.
You can't learn to be 6'11" and
No,
Kevin
but you
Durant.
can learn to shoot a jump shot. You can shoot 1,000 of them a day, and anyone can do that,
Right.
I think.
But you can't be Kevin. You can't have that agility. We really got to run because somebody's about to come in here. We can get it. We'll continue this another time.
Yeah, another time.
Miko Grimes, thank you so much for coming
Love you
on.
guys.
I heart Miko on all platforms
And
for
my
social
podcast.
media. Her podcast, please go.
It's I Heart Miko Podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud, and pretty soon it's going to be somewhere very special. We'll talk about that later.
Shit. Listen, I'm so happy that you got to come in. I think the story is just so amazing. It's just so insightful into the league and really how it operates, and I hope people find it just as interesting as I found
on it, but you know I'm a huge fan of yours. I love
Yes,
you, and you're
I
great.
fuck with
Thank you
you.
so much for coming on.
Keep
all right?
supporting the Patreon. We had 3,000. Let's go get it. Let's keep going.
I forgot to mention. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Patreon. We just hit 3,000. We're past 3,000. You know what I mean? The asshole army got money. We're not broke like Nicki Minaj fans. All right, we out here paid. We breaded. Okay, keep on supporting. We do the podcast on Patreon. It's an extra episode every single Friday. There's 3 tiers that you can support to get it. You go to patreon.com/flagrant2. Join the fuck up. We got a special guest coming for this episode as well this Friday that I'm very excited about. Last one, we had Carlos Boozer come in, so just keep on joining that, man. I can't wait till we convince every single one of you that's listening right now to join that Patreon, because the things that we're able to do because of that is just, it's honestly content changing, life changing. It's really amazing what we've been able to do. So
I got a place to live.
we got a place to live, you know what I mean? Alex got a nice little raise. We're going to build some amazing things going on here. We're making shit happen, man, and I'm so fucking excited. So thank y'all for your support. Thank you for growing the community. I see you guys sharing, gifting each other in it, and it's an amazing thing to see. And if you guys just want to go peep it, just go check out the community board there at patreon.com/flagrant2. See what's going on, see what's happening. It's really an amazing place. I love y'all. This has been Flagrant 2. Peace.
God bless.